Well, as the dirt flies, so does Talking Dirt. Straight back to the place where we kicked it all off. Welcome, race fans of the internet, back to TDTV here on a beautiful Thursday evening. And we are back once again at the Volusia Speedway Park, this time with the DOB 410 Sprint Car Series as we enter into season number 17. Now, this is episode 1 of season number 17. We will be live tonight from both the Volusia Speedway Park and the Limaland Motorsports Complex as we'll head from Florida to Ohio in the matter of minutes a little bit later on. But first, we got to worry about this one. Volusia Speedway Park, we saw it become a problem on Tuesday night for a lot of the 360 drivers. Now, more practice has gone into this event for the 410 drivers, so we're looking for a much better event. Now, of course, I am your host, Mr. Ryan Williams, and joining me once again as my broadcast partner for tonight's event, it'll be the stud himself from Marion, Big Papa, Mr. Matt Pridge. And Matt, welcome into the broadcast once again. Looks like this one could be a lot better than Tuesday. Looking for a big night here out of DOB.
Oh yeah, man. When they were when they got to doing some green flag racing, it was very fun to watch, man. They were passing slide jobs here and there. It very fun to watch. Now we got these cars that are a little bit faster, a lot bit faster, however you want to put it. You know, should have some good racing. Hopefully a little bit less cautions than what we saw Tuesday.
Yeah, very much so. That's exactly what I'm hoping for. Now, we're here at the Volusia Speedway Park, another half-mile track for the series here down in the great state of Florida, Barberville, Florida. So that wind factor, though, if you look at the weather right there on the screen, that weather factor might come into play once again as that wind's going to be blowing into turns 1 and 2. So same problems we saw the other night with the wind catching those wings we might see once again here tonight. But let's jump on in and let's look at some of these cars that are taking some laps right now. A lot of guys are set to take some practice laps. I believe Adam Elby heading towards the racetrack as we speak. There's a bunch of guys on it as well. You see Adam Elby, Casey Miller in the 05 car, Tyler Schell, two-time winner back on Tuesday night in action here in his number 85. We see Ernie Williams Jr. back in the number 91, Sean Briscoe in the 36, Larry Moody there piling 173, Bray Nyler in the number 5 this time, Miles Jansen Jr. in the 35, Nicholas McGeethy in car number 63 here on this third set of hot laps so far. And as we're sitting right now, these are some of your quick times here in practice. 33 of Lane Stevens, so far the quickest out of all cars. As Adam Elby cuts a pretty quick lap there. Elby currently clocks in 10th quick, Matt.
I've been watching Ernie Williams Jr. He currently in the 18th position. I'm looking at him. He's running the high line pretty early on. We saw, usually Tuesday night start out at the bottom. These cars are a little bit faster and carry a little more speed, and I think they get a little bit more momentum out of them. And like you were talking about earlier with the wind blowing into the turns, these big wings at these high speeds, that plays a real big game into these guys driving.
Oh, yeah, 100%, man. This is going to get interesting very quickly. I can assure you the wind's going to play a factor. The wings are very important on these cars. As I believe one last group going to come out here for some hot laps. I believe around 40 cars signed in for round number 1 here. There you see the number 21 of Chris Sabeski, Daniel Harrell in car number 11, Kenny Miller III in car number 23, Tyler LaPointe there in car number, I believe that's a 23L on that one. So we got a lot of guys out here cutting some laps. Miller looks good on lap number 1, 23rd on the big board. See if anybody's moving and shaking here, Matt.
Yeah, Tyler LaPointe, I'm riding along with him right now. Not quite getting it there. He's currently sitting 36th. right behind him on the track. Well, now this session's come to a close. Uh, saying David Heilemann is the only one who hasn't taken the time. I'm not sure if he's going to get practice laps or if we're going to go straight to qualifying here or not.
Well, looks like David probably. I'll keep a close eye on him here to see if he's able to get a time, but probably not going to be able to cut a time for David Heilemann as we're about to get straight into your quick time qualifying for the night. 38 drivers signed in here at the Volusia Speedway Park, looking for a fun night here with DOB. Now, a couple of things that I want to hit on the top of the broadcast. If you're watching DOB or TDTV for the first time, welcome in, of course. But with DOB here tonight, we will run however many heats it breaks us down into, probably 4 by the looks of how many drivers are in here. So that'll give us an 8-car dash to determine the top 8 for the feature event. So it's going to be the top 2 from each heat going to the dash. And from that, it'll be a 6-lap dash to determine your starting lineup for however many. I believe it's going to end up being the top 8 for that one. But Matt, I believe these guys are about to skip to some open qualifying, or actually close qualifying. I believe Chris may be giving it just a second here. He got one more driver coming in, Braden Matson, excuse me, now signed into the server. And real quick before qualifying gets underway, a couple of the sponsor shout-outs for the series for DOB being broadcasted here on TDTV. I want to give a big thanks to Design Metal Art. They help Chris with the trophies every single season for DOB. Jay-Z Photography. Let's see if old Jay-Z's in here racing tonight. I do not see him, so Jay-Z not with us, but Jay-Z Photography, big shout out to him. Tim Sims, powered by iRacing, Wicked Cushion Esports, Wicked Brands, and Forrest Weg, who is the I-55 lawyer of the great state of Missouri. TDTV is brought to you by the Talking Dirt Podcast, which will be live tomorrow, wherever you find your favorite podcast. Now here comes a couple of guys to the Speedway, as we'll pull up the big board here and show you how everybody is looking as they are switching back and forth from that top spot. Darren Detweiler currently holds it, but everybody's right there on him in hopes to take it. So it's Detweiler, Briscoe, Szerzynski, top 4. Now Sobieski to the top spot. That's Chris Sobieski in car number 21. Let's see if anybody's able to click off Sobieski. Here we look at Michael Sheridan, now done with his laps. Robert Satterfield on lap number 2. He's got a good one cooking out of turn number 4 for Satterfield. And Satterfield up to 7th, but that's it. Now a new top time. It's Kenny Miller in the 123 car. Kenny on lap number 2 here looks even faster. You see the 12.55. And he will bump it up just a little bit, still on the same 10th and 1000th for Kenny Miller. 12.55, his best lap time here, Matt.
Yeah, I was watching Chris Shell earlier, Tyler Shell, and he had a fast lap going on his second lap, and unfortunately he tapped the wall. With iRacing, when you tap the wall, that lap does not get scored. Like I said, it was a quick time. Maybe not 12.55, but he could have been somewhere probably up into the top 10, but he's going to be starting mid-pack tonight. I'd like to see him work his way to the front.
Well, absolutely, Matt. And after that, I believe now time to get into some heat racing action. We'll pull up your grid for heat race number 1. Looks like Kenny Miller, the third on the point for this one. Adam Elby to his outside. Mason Hannigan inside row number 2. Jonathan Lowe outside row number 2. Row number 3 is Braden Eiler alongside two-time winner on the season with the 360s, Mr. Tyler Shell. Row number 4, I believe, will be Harl Streaker alongside Larry Moody. And then we go back to row number 5 where it's Brian Moore and Brad Lamerson here. Matt, we've already seen an event at this racetrack with these sprints so far, although not the 360 version, or not the 410 version, excuse me. So are we expecting a similar racing style here, or what do you think we're going to get here as we come around and take the one to go?
I mean, as far as, lines and track conditions and all that goes, it's pretty much going to be the same pattern. The only difference is how these drivers are able to work the throttle, and they are able to keep up with how slick the track is, and how easy they are on the gas.
You're exactly right. Track most definitely going to get slick, and we're going to get right into it here in just a minute. As there's your one to go for the first time tonight, coming around heat race number 1. You see the caution light there at the top of your screen. As soon as that turns red, that means the green flag has dropped, and we will be underway here for the DOB 410 Sprint Series for the very first time here on TDTV. Of course, I covered these guys back on ESPN whenever that was a thing, and it was a treat for me to have Chris reach out and want to get back with me here on TDTV as that pace truck dips off of turn number 4. Green flag gonna fly here, Matt. We are underway.
And Kenny Miller off to a great start. Double file still behind him. So far, the 20 has looks like he has fallen one position outside of the transfer spot. Now getting past again. Into the wall and upside down. Very unfortunate.
Again, that was Jonathan Lowe as the caution flag will fly. Again, Jonathan Lowe, car number 20, as he went into the outside wall that you saw at the very back of the field. As the pace truck back out there, he will go around and collect the field from the front. So, unfortunate turn of events for Jonathan Lowe. Had a good starting spot, and he will drop 6 spots, go to 10th, and now he is out of the race as the pace truck goes around to collect the field. So, Matt, hey, man, that's how the cookie crumbles. It can happen that quickly here at Volusia. You hit that wall wrong, and you are sailing, my friend.
Well, again, with these open tires, you hit anything wrong, and you are going for a wild ride.
You're absolutely right.
But you're getting the horns.
Absolutely right, Matt. Absolutely right. I couldn't have said it better myself. But, hey, I mean, it still opens it up. 6 laps going to remain, I believe 5 when the green flag flies. So your current lineup here for heat race number 1, Kenny Miller on the point, Adam Elby in second, Mason Hannigan up to third, Braden Eiler up in position into a transfer spot. He'll be fourth. Then it's back to Shell, Moody, Lamberson, more Streaker, rounding out the field of 9. As off of turn number 4, we're going to come around and take that one to go to green. They're going to double it up, I believe, for this restart here, Matt.
I don't think they do.
Nope, do not double it up.
Restarts. They're going to keep it single file. So that's going to allow Kenny Miller to get another good start on him.
Yeah, you're
now we got Braden Eiler in the final transfer position. See if he can hold it. Got 7 laps remaining.
Yeah, man, you are absolutely right. Single file restart here shows me and believe we're gonna end up with 6. Or let's see here. Probably going to be, 6 or 7 to go. Once we take that green flag is off turn number 4, iRacing. Pace truck going to dip into pit road. And we're back underway as Miller's on the loud pedal in a hurry. And off into 1 and 2. Hannigan fights with Elby. Takes the spot away from him. Now Elby back to the outside. You see her battle for second on screen right now. Battle for the transfer spot, Matt Pridgeon.
Yeah, now Tyler Shell up and trying to move on up into the transfer spot. He started back in 6th. Now he's trying to get up 4th. Braden Eiler shutting him down for at least the time being.
Yeah, Braden holds on to it as we complete another lap here. 4 laps remain. Kenny Miller out front. Hannigan and Elby in a battle for second. Of course, Mason Hannigan, last year's 360 sprint winner. This year, looking to take over the 410s as he goes in hard. That was Adam Elby with the slide job. Hannigan crossover move down the back straightaway. Matt, going to be 2 to go this time by.
And Kenny Miller outselling the front. Got a decent little lead. Good battle going on for second place between Adam Elby and Mason Hannigan. And Brandon Eiler is going to be your final transfer. Oh, wait, no, that was a white flag. Excuse me.
Don't talk too soon, Matt, as we come off of turn number 4. Miller's going to win it here. Watch this battle for second. Will it go to LB or Hannigan? It goes to Hannigan. LB third. Eiler wraps off a transfer spot. He will finish in 4th over Shell, Lamberson, Moody, and company. As heat race number 2 coming to the grid already here, Matt.
Yeah, and for heat 2, we are going to see Chris Sabaski Roloff in the first position, Kenny Hoffman in second, Kevin Click in third, Nicholas McGeethy rolling off in fourth. Fifth is going to be Lane Stevens. Sixth, Brandon Matson. And rolling off seventh is going to be Daniel Harrell. Eighth is going to be Joshua Piquel. Ninth will be Todd Laboud. And 10th will be Gary Uffett.
That's right, Matt. 10 drivers, 8 laps the distance. As we look in on your field there's Chris Sabeski in car number 30 as per iRacing, I believe, 21 on the machine. He's got Kevin Click right behind him, but to his outside is Kenny Hoffman. After laying down a bad fast lap time, will come out of turn number 4, and we will take the 1 to go to green for heat race number 2 of what, Matt, I believe 4 heat races signed in here tonight?
Yep, only going to be 4 heat races tonight. Heat 5 will be skipped.
Yep, heat 5 will be skipped. 10 cars per heat race, 4 heat races. Well, actually, 10, 10, 10, 9, I believe, is 39 cars are signed in here tonight. So the 1 to go has been given. Lights out around the 1/2 mile Volusia Speedway Park here, the world's fastest half-mile dirt track. Is we're about to see some speeds that go extreme out of turn number 4. Sabeski and Hoffman looking at the back of that pace car, and as the pace car pulls off, let's see what Sabeski pulls the trigger off of turn number 4. Green flag back in the air here, Matt.
These guys starting in the lead, getting really good starts on here with this format they got with Green starting on the leader. Nicholas McGeethy getting a little bit sideways coming off of turn 4, but still able to hold on to the final transfer spot. But Lane Stevens and Brandon Matson.
Fifth around.
33 of Lane Stevens around and into the wall.
So Lane Stevens around. Let's see if we trigger a caution. No caution, Matt. So Lane's heat racing night going to be done. But the 4th and final transfer spot still in jeopardy here with 5 laps to go as Braden Matson got a good little run here, but that 11 of Harrell looks awfully quick back up front. The battle for second is on, however, as Hoffman goes down low and Kevin Click on the top shelf trying to let the big dog eat here, Matt.
Trying to let it eat indeed. And Kevin Click right on the leader of Kenny Hoffman, trying to make a move, just not quite close enough. I'm going to try to regroup in 3 and 4 and maybe try to attack again in 1, or we won't. We're going to have a caution.
We will indeed have a caution. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. See if we can figure it out. Go back and look. I believe Todd Laboob involved in the number 94. So we will, for the first time tonight, hit the replay button and see if we can find out exactly what happened here with Todd Laboub. Oh yeah, Todd Laboub into turns 3 and 4. A contact with a car, I believe that might have been Offit's machine. And Laboub hard into the inside wall, Matt, which brings out our first caution of this heat race.
Yeah, real unfortunate that the earlier incident we saw didn't bring out the caution. Those guys get back out because they are now out of the heat race. Maybe not. Chris Sabeski just they're waving him around right now, so maybe he can.
Right, I'm not sure.
Finish out.
Not sure what happened with Chris there.
Yeah, because he started in the lead.
Yeah, Chris was leading this race and somehow ended up a lap down. I'm not sure what happened for him, but yeah, Chris Sabeski, I'm not sure where he's going to line up on this restart map, but so far, really good-looking heat race number 2, if I must say so myself.
Yeah, everybody that's trying to get, challenging for the transfer spot, they're pushing it, but they're not pushing it too hard. Got some clean racing going on at the moment.
So Sabeski will get his, I believe he's getting all of his laps back, and he will get his lead spot unless he actually had a timing issue, in which case he will pull up to the rear of the field. So let's see what happens with Chris here.
So on my screen, that I still have the chat up,
Right.
and they're talking about something about something's going on with the scoring. They're saying the
Right.
scoring's all messed up. So I think that might be an iRacing issue.
It very well could be, but I believe Chris Sabeski will restart us from the lead here. So Sabeski, Hoffman, Click, Harrell, your top four going to the showdown right now. Braden Matson gonna give it one shot here. I believe, Matt, we're restarting with. Let's see here. Let's pull it up. Gonna be restarting with 2 or 3 laps remaining. I believe it's gonna be 3-lap shootout for heat race number 2. So we'll see what the pace truck does. If a turn number 4, I believe, going to pull off. Yes, he is. We're going back green flag racing with the DOB 410. Sprint cars, great jump for Sabaski.
Yeah, and I call this situation a green, white checkered. But Daniel Harrell currently riding in the final transfer spot. We got Kevin Click trying to dig his nose up under Kenny Hoffman, not able to get it. Kenny Hoffman's going to hold off on the second position for now.
Well, don't take what you're seeing on the left-hand side of your screen for... ooh-wee, big one at the end there. So, although you see what you see on the left-hand side of your screen, Chris Sabeski is the winner of this heat race on the track. So I'm not exactly sure what happened with the live timing and scoring. So it's Sabeski, Hoffman, Harrell, and Joshua Paquel rounding out the transfer spots for heat race number 2, Matt.
Yeah, it was unfortunate to see what happened to Kevin Click there, because he was running in the second position and all that happened. Now he's got to run the B main.
That he does, and we pull up heat race number 3. Looks like Double D, Darren Detweiler in the 3D. We'll roll off from the point. Billy Rowley will roll off from his outside. Alex Rzenski will roll off third. Richie Preston fourth. Fifth will be Miles Jansen Jr. Sixth will be Billy Brickley. Seventh will be Tim Alton in number 64. Eighth will be Tyler LaPointe. Ninth will be Matt Altoff. And 10th will be Mr. David Heilman, if David elects to grid up here. I believe David has, and we will have a full field of 10 for heat race number 3, Matt.
Yeah, 10 cars in each heat race. That's 30 cars so far. Another big, not quite as big as it was Tuesday night, but still very, very big field of cars. That's showing up here at the virtual Volusia Speedway Park.
That's right. So, Matt, real quick, keep your eyes during this heat race on the number 49 of David Heilman. Very quick driver. I've seen him race DOB many a time, and I'm interested to see how far from the back he can go. If he can somehow make it past any of these guys and get it into a top 4 spot to lock himself into the feature. So, Darren Detweiler, the setup builder for the series, again, they moved to the fixed setup platform during this past offseason. So far, car counts have been amazing because of it, and we are excited to see where this series goes here on TDTV. So you got Detweiler and Rowley on row number 1, giving this one a little bit of Ford 10 flair here on TDTV. We were watching asphalt for a while. Finally, back to good old-fashioned dirt racing, and now turn number 4, heat race number 3 is coming at you.
Again, we see the leader come off on a big jump on that start. Everybody's, again, single file behind him. 79 of Billy Rowell. Trying to peek up under it, just not quite enough. They're all hanging around that little bit on the top side, getting a little bit close to that wall. Curious to see if, they're going to be able to handle that a little better tonight.
Big battle here. Richie Preston and Alex Rzenski went at it for a minute. Billy Rowley still in that second spot behind Darren Detweiler. Now let's see if the battle for 4th is going to be on. Billy Brickley and Richie Preston about to lock horns here at Volusia. And we're looking at David Heilman already up to the 8th spot with 5 laps remaining here in heat race number 3, Matt.
Yeah, he's up. Only 2
Ooh,
positions.
slide job for 4th, Matt.
Slide job for 4th. All right. So the 20. All right. Strzezinski's in 3rd. Richie Preston is in 4th. Billy Brickley is following a close behind in the 5th position, trying to get locked into tonight's feature.
You're exactly right there, Matt. But Brickley, Preston, Szerzinski throw a blanket over him as Brickley goes up top, looking for a run down the front straightaway, looking for a slider. Over in turns 1 and 2. 2 laps remain this time for heat race number 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Throw a blanket over him. Let's see what this battle for the lead's looking like as Detweiler's got about 2 car lengths over Rolly. Rolly to the bottom. White flag, Matt. 1 lap to go.
David Heileman riding around in the 7th position.
Well, you got a slide job for the lead right now, Matt.
Yep, Billy Rowell trying to take the lead away from, or Darren Detweiler trying to get the lead back.
Well, Detweiler not only took it, but he won heat race number 3. Rolly finishes 2nd. Szerzinski 3rd. Richie Preston locks into the feature with a top 4. Brickley's 5th. Jansen, Heileman, LaPointe, Alton, Althoff round out the 10 cars here in heat race number 3. And your 4th and final heat race of the night, Matt, going to have, I believe, 9 cars. There's 39 checked in with us tonight. So 9 cars here in heat race number 4. So it'll be Sean Briscoe leading us from the point. Robert Satterfield to his outside. Michael Sheridan and Casey Miller on row 2. Chris Roberts, the Catfish, in 93. He'll start 5th. Ernie Williams Jr. will start 6th. Spencer Putney will start from 7th. 8th will be an Aussie, Ivan McKenzie, in car 07. And Tyler Henselman will round out the field here for heat race number 4. Your 4th and final heat race of the night, Mr. Matt Bridget.
And last heat race was actually, really good. A lot of clean racing. Not really any contact that I saw. Hopefully these guys can keep it up better as the track's starting to slick up, and everybody's trying to find speed somewhere. So might be seeing a little bit more 2-wide racing in this heat race.
Well, we'll see how extensively the top is used from now on in this event, as Sean Briscoe and Robert Satterfield are about to lock horns. We come around and we take the 1 to go to green this time, Matt, which means that we're only 1 lap away from green flag racing here for heat race number 4 for the DOB 410 Sprint Cars Season 17, race number 1.
And coming out of 2, again, we got Sean Briscoe and Robert Satterfield on your front row in the virtual 410 sprint cars. The pace truck is dipping into the pits here in just a second. There it goes. Sean Briscoe on the loud pedal with another great jump.
Exactly right. Briscoe on the loud pedal. Great jump for him. Satterfield to 2nd. Sheridan. Remember, Michael Sheridan was bad fast in the 360s just a couple of nights ago. Casey Miller, another driver that we haven't seen with DOB in quite a while. Miller into the 4th spot. Battling right now with Sheridan. Look at the outside. There goes Casey Miller and Michael Sheridan. Not what you want for car 15, and that might spur a caution here at Volusia, as Sheridan is on his side, as the caution flag will come out, Matt.
Yeah, trying to pass for that final transfer spot, man, it can get a little bit tricky sometimes. Fortunately, your 4th and 5th place runners were involved in that. Maybe we might can see him come back. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows indeed. So it's Sean Briscoe, Robert Satterfield, Casey Miller, and now the Catfish, Chris Roberts, into the top 3, or into the top 4, excuse me. Ivan McKenzie, the Aussie, into the top 5. He'll be in 5th. Spencer Putney, Tyler Henselman, and Ernie Williams Jr. round out this one. Henselman and Williams, a little bit of damage from that incident there with Michael Sheridan. So right now, Matt, Sean Briscoe leads the way. And a good-looking number 36 car. Really enjoying this race so far for Sean Briscoe, as he got out to an extremely good jump, and there was a great race behind him as Casey Miller on that top shelf just passed Michael Sheridan like he was sitting still, Matt.
Yeah, and once you see one of them go up there and have speed, a lot of other drivers are going to be going up there. So again, with the searching, going to be seeing some more slide jobs, and all that fun stuff.
All that fun stuff. Yeah, it is fun stuff. I'll give you that. We believe we're going green this time as the lights go out on the iRacing Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. Out of turn number 2, the field will go solo dolo, single file all the ways. We have one rejoin us here, I believe. That's Tyler Henselman in car number 21. He will join us from the tail end of the field here as we'll get an up-close and personal look at these cars as they head down the back straightaway for this restart, Matt. Coming back to green out of turn number 4.
Oh, a little bit of internet issues maybe with Sean Briscoe. It kind of disappeared off of my screen for a second there. But now back on the loud pedal as he sails it off into turn 1. Up top, right up there on that cushion. Chris Roberts riding in the 4th position.
Whoa!
With Ivan McKenzie. Or not. It's a caution.
Well, I don't know if you missed it there, Matt, but Robert Satterfield down the back straightaway clips the wall coming out of turn number 2. And around he goes as we're going to do the TDTV rewind here and take a look at Robert Satterfield out of turn number 2. Ooh-wee, in contact. I believe Casey Miller gets into him too, and that car is doing the crab walk. After that one, that will trigger caution number 2 here. Tough break for Robert Satterfield there in car number 55. Focus back in here. Race leader, Matt, again, Sean Briscoe, as the 4th and final heat race here, proving to be the only one that we've seen real trouble out of so far.
Yeah, and you mentioned the crab walking. It's funny. Yesterday, between, well, obviously yesterday, they did an update to the damage model on these cars, and now, from my understanding, is the small repetitive contacts will affect your car just as much as one big impact.
Yeah, a lot more now. So if you do it a lot, then it's going to really, really mess up your night. But luckily for most of these guys, no contact with anybody just yet. 2 drivers out of this heat race. That is Robert Satterfield and Michael Sheridan, which leaves us with 7 cars left to hopefully finish heat race number 4. Leader is Sean Briscoe. Casey Miller rides around in the 2nd spot. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Miller loads up a shot. Now here comes Michael Sheridan back. Sheridan wants to get as much as he can out of this heat race, a little seat time before hopefully qualifying in for him from the B or C main. So it's Briscoe, Miller, Roberts, McKenzie into the show as we sit. But Putney, Williams Jr., and Henselman all showing flashes of speed as out of turn number 4, Matt, we're coming back to a green flag. DOB 410 sprint cars, and we're green flag racing once again.
And as we go off into turn 1, Chris Roberts trying to stick his nose up under 2nd place, and getting a little bit of speed off of turn 2 on the bottom and able to slide up in front of Casey Miller for the 2nd position.
Well, we call that a good old-fashioned slide job, and here comes Miller back to the bottom. Will Casey go for broke here? Nope, he's going to follow Chris right in as Chris ran a little bit of a takeaway line. So currently for 4th, though, Ivan McKenzie in car number 16, holding it down. Back in front of him, Miller back to the bottom. Will we see it? No, we won't, as now Chris Roberts is pulling in on Sean Briscoe here, Matt. White flag.
Yeah, and we see Ernie Williams involved in that early incident. Back up into the 5th position. Not quite enough time. But back up front, we have Sean Briscoe still leading Casey Roberts, or actually winning. Excuse me.
Yeah, and Casey Miller finishes 2nd. Chris Roberts 3rd. Ivan McKenzie will lock into the show. And I believe up next we are going to have our first of maybe 2 B mains here, Matt, I believe, or is this the C and next one's the B?
This one is the C and the next one is the B. The top 4 of this race will transfer to the B feature.
Okay, so you have David Heileman in car number 49. He'll lead us here. Tyler Henselman will start 2nd. Brian Moore Sr. will start 3rd. Gary Offit will start 4th. Tyler LaPointe will round out the top 5 for the start here. Robert Satterfield, Harl Streaker, Todd LeBoob, Tim Alton, I believe Michael Sheridan, Lane Stevens, Jonathan Lowe, and Matt Altoff will round out the field here for your C main event. As we head down the back straightaway here, going to be 2 to go to green. As you get a good look here at your field, there's current race leader and pole man David Heileman. Tyler Henselman there in the red and yellow car number 21. Gary Offit will be in that car number 68 right there. Brian Moore Sr. in another yellow and red car. Tyler LaPointe will be in the, I believe, that blue and black number 23. Robert Satterfield will be to his outside in the number 55. Then you look at Harl Streaker in the white machine. Outside of him is Michael Sheridan after facing some tough luck in his heat race. Tim Alton will be in that 64 right there on your screen. Lane Stevens in the red, white, and black number 33 with 33 on the underside of the spoiler. And then it's back to Jonathan Lowe. And here is Matt Althoff there, that neon pink, black, and blue NOS Energy Drake Special. And Todd LeBoob going to round out the field here as we turn our attentions back up to the front as we head down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Matt, we're going green for the C feature for the first round of DOB 410 Sprint Cars.
13 cars looking for the top 4 positions to try to make it to the B main. Your leader, Daniel Halleman, off to a great start as we have car slide just... Oh,
whoa, big one!
Big caution. Ooh, that was a big wreck.
That was a big one. Let's see if we can figure out who triggers it here. I'm going to say that Brian Moore Sr. got a big chunk of it. As I'm going to hit the TDTV rewind, and we are going to watch this one down the backstretch in slow motion. As you see him get up and into that wall, collects the 21, the Kansas City Chiefs car. Who else does he collect? Oh, 23 into it. 15 gets a small piece. 64 gets a piece of the 23. And everybody else piles in from there. As man, oh man, not what you want at all. So we'll see who's still looking good. Heileman, not too much damage on the 49, wasn't involved at all. 55, no damage to be seen. Offit, no big damage. Streaker, looking good in the 82 machine. 64's got a little bit of damage, but not too much to continue. Lane Stevens looking good. Jonathan Lowe looking good as far as I can tell. Todd LeBaub looking pretty good for LeBaub as well. So currently off the speedway, Sheridan, Althoff, Henselman, Moore, and LaPointe is Tyler LaPointe, Matt, looking like he's driving a dirt midget out there right now. No wing on the top of that car whatsoever.
Well, that's going to affect the aerodynamics a little bit, but maybe he can keep up with it. Who knows? Quick repairs not on just like it was Tuesday night.
Yeah, no quick repairs for the series.
They'll have to sit in their pit box and wait for their cars to get fixed. Believe the lights are out. Pace truck is dipping in, and David Heileman back on the loud pedal.
Yeah, Heileman, great jump into turns 1 and 2, right behind him. Let's see where the action's at. Action from 6th on back. Jonathan Lowe, as we got one on the bottom. I believe that was Lane Stevens in 33. He's able to gather it back up, back towards the front. Let's look and see who is able to take a lead here. As Matt, do we have caution again right now?
Yeah, not too sure again. I saw the 20 of Jonathan Lowe and the 33 of Lane Stevens make a little bit of contact, but from what I saw of it, Lane Stevens had the car straightened back out. Not sure if something else happened afterwards or what.
We'll look in on Lowe here and hit the rewind button and see if we can find out exactly what happens. Ooh, yeah, something does happen here, Matt, as they come down the front straightaway. I don't believe it's with Stevens, but Jonathan Lowe goes around and pops a wheelie here in his 410, and that brings out caution flag number 2, Matt.
Yeah, these things, front ends on these cars, they'll lift up real easy if you get on the gas real hard. These cars are super lightweight, but are somehow able to put the power to the dirt and have a lot of traction for these high horsepower lightweight cars.
Oh, absolutely. A completely different world than what you and I are used to seeing on a weekly basis. Now, in my real life work, I'm going to tell you 305 sprint cars, when they come to town, some of the most fun you'll ever have. But, yeah, these 410s right here on iRacing, I had a blast in the past watching them, having a blast once again as I believe lights out possibly here, Matt, as we head off into 1 and 2.
It's looking like it to me. Yep, the lights are out.
So Matt's right, the lights are out here, and I'll tell you what, for this restart, let's take you down. Let's put you in the cockpit with driver David Heileman. You see there, the tear off is muddy as all get out, but we're going to watch this restart from on board the number 49 out of turn number 4, and he's on the loud pedal, this 410, singing into turns 1 and 2. Look at that.
Carl Streaker off to a somewhat of a slow start, but 64 slips up a little bit and loses the position. He was right on him entering turn 1 the previous lap. Now Tyler Boob is up into your 5th position and gunning for that final transfer spot.
Sir Hurls just needs to hold off best he can, but whoa, you got one in the wall, Gary Offit into the wall. They're in car number 22, and that's not where you want to be here at Volusia's. He's going to change things up completely. Heileman's out front racing with Satterfield all by their lonesome. Then it's a big gap back to Harl Streaker. Now Todd LeBoob into the top 4 for the transfer spot, Matt. We'll pull back up here. 6 laps remain here at Volusia for the C main event.
And we see Lane Stevens back up into a position to potentially take the transfer spot. And he is trying to, almost had it through 3 and 4, 1 and 2. They got a little crossed up. But he is back in line and trying to use up all of that high side to get the momentum off the corners.
Yeah, you're right, man. Lane was denied a big move there to trying to get around Todd. Now Todd chasing after Harl Streaker, part of the Streaker Brothers Racing. I don't see George in here tonight, so shame for that. I wonder where George is at here as Todd LeBoob now tries to hold off Stevens again, but he's looking to load up a shot to give to Streaker down the back straightaway here. As we head in, 3 laps, going to be 2 to go. Popsicle sticks from the flagman this time as we keep a close eye on the battle for 3rd, Matt. 2 laps to go. There goes LeBoob to the bottom.
And if I'm Lane Stevens in this situation, I'm really liking what's going on.
Yeah, you're doing exactly what he just did.
Sliding up into the 3rd position with 1 lap to go. Will he hold on to it? He is up on that high side, trying to get every inch of speed he can.
Right, and I hate to cut you off here, Matt, but battle for the lead is Satterfield. Throw a slider in 1 and 2. He holds off Heileman for the C-main event win as Heileman goes sailing off into the grandstands. Lane Stevens finished 3rd. Todd LeBoob will transfer in to the B-main after finishing 4th, and it's the rest of the field right there behind them. I'll pull up the results so you can see them. As, yeah, you see Robert Satterfield, David Heileman, Lane Stevens, Todd LeBoob, Harl Streaker, Gary Offit, Tim Alton, Matt Althoff, Michael Sheridan, Tyler LaPointe, Jonathan Lowe, Tyler Henselman, Brian Moore in that order for the C main event. And that will bring us to our final preliminary action of the night. Your B main, which is going to be led to green by Tyler Schell, 2-time winner on Tuesday in car number 85. Outside of him will be Nicholas McGeethy in car number 73. Billy Brickley will be in car 00. Spencer Putney will be in car number 17. Brad Lamberson will be in car number 27, starting 5th. Chris Sebeski will be in car number 30, starting from the 6th spot. 7th will be Miles Jansen Jr. 8th will be Ernie Williams Jr. 9th will be Larry Moody, Brandon Matson, Robert Satterfield, David Heileman, Lane Stevens, and Todd LeBoub. Looking, Matt, here for top 4 to the feature to fill out tonight's 24-car starting field. Gotta feel good if you're Tyler Schell, Nicholas McGeethy, but anybody behind him could easily make it to a transfer spot. Keep your eyes again on David Heileman. Keep your eyes on Ernie Williams Jr. after such a good run on Tuesday. And keep an eye on Chris Sebeski amongst others, Matt. This has all the potential here to get very, very good before it gets done.
Yeah, and actually you have 8 cars transferring to the feature in this B main event.
Is that right? Okay, so the top 8
Yep.
transfer. Okay,
Top 8 transfers, so not going to be as stressful to transfer in this, but still got to be on it to finish in that top 8. I mean, there's 14 cars in this B main, so it's still gonna get pretty exciting.
Right. Yeah, that does make sense now that I think about the math. I'm not sure why we didn't just run 2 B mains, but hey, that's a story for another time. Is out of turn number 4, Matt, I believe, going green this time as your pole man Tyler Shell alongside Nicholas McGeethy. They're trading back and forth a little bit of mind games. A Shell on the loud pedal, and we're underway here for your B main event, taking the top 8 at Volusia Speedway Park. And keep an eye on the Hornet's Nest in the mid-pack. Who's going to give an inch to anybody here as Lamberson coming up the middle.
And Lamberson rolling that middle, picked up a spot there, but on the bottom, if I can get click the right name.
Sebeski to 4th right now. Lamberson is falling further and further back. He's in 7th.
Now we got Ernie Williams trying to work his way up into the top 5 as he currently rides in the 6th position. They almost go 3 wide.
How about Billy Brickley on the move here, Matt?
Yeah, he sure is. On the high side, Nicholas McGeethy able to get back around him, though. And Tyler Shell just walking away with this one so far.
Yeah, while you're saying that slide job from Brickley to McGeethy. McGeethy loading a shot back up. He's going to stay high here in 3 and 4. Sebeski right behind him. And here comes Ernie Williams Jr. there in the 91. Back up front. McGeethy slider attempt. Going to hold it to the bottom. Brickley going to escape down the back straightaway, but they're still neck and neck. Slide job into turns 3 and 4 from Nicholas McGeethy. Going to clear Brickley. Brickley back to the bottom. Going to take the spot back. Hold it at the line. 6 laps to go. Tyler Shell out front in car number 86. So back to the battle here, Matt, for the 2nd spot. These guys still going at it, tooth and nail, and insert Sebeski in the mix. But right now, the last guy to transfer in, if we were to finish this way, would be Lane Stevens, as we have a caution. I believe it's Brad Lamberson, Matt.
Yeah, as you were saying, that his name jumped down to the bottom on the scoring page I have pulled up
cow.
here.
This one's going to be interesting. Let's take a look at it in super slow-mo as Lamberson up into the outside wall in turns 3 and 4, up into the NOS Energy Drink billboard. There's the Dry Team billboard. Flip in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Man, how many flips? There's a 7th one. Barrel rolling now was Brad Lamberson. How about another? There it is. 8 flips for Brad Lamberson here at Volusia in the B main. Boy, I hope that driver is okay, Matt.
Yeah, and thankfully it's virtual, so nobody hurt. But except for the run that Brad Lamberson was having, he was riding in the transfer spot. Don't know what happened. I haven't watched it back yet, but I'm not sure if he's going to be on track. Let me click over.
Nope, not on track.
Name.
A couple of other cars that are out right now, Robert Satterfield and Brandon Matson. Not sure what's going on with either of those two, but tough to see him not out here with us right now. As I believe off of turn number 4, that pace truck looks like the lights are about to turn out. We're going to get that 1 to go signal this time by Matt.
Yeah, and on that last green flag run, there towards the end of it, it was really a 3-car battle for the 2nd position, almost a 4-car battle. But hey, these guys are giving it all they got, trying to find every position. Every position they gain now is one less position they have to gain in the future.
We had one that looked like he was coming back in Brad Lamberson, but Lamberson back in his pit as we look back on with race leader Tyler Shell in car number 85. Remember, Tyler, 2-time winner on Tuesday. I know I keep hitting at it, but I want you guys to be very aware this guy is good in a sprint car. And off of turn number 4, he's going to fire. Green flag back in the air as we race off into turns 1 and 2, Matt.
And I'm watching this battle for the final transfer spot. Lane Stevens decides to stick it on the bottom, getting around Spencer Putney. And he was about to pass another car, and then caution came out.
Yeah, caution flies for, I believe, Ernie Williams Jr. at 91. There you see him on his lid. And we're going to take it into the rewind once again. TDTV rewind. Looking for a sponsor for that if anybody wants it. Oh, man. Ernie Williams Jr. Tough lick. The same thing that we've seen happen multiple times tonight, Matt. Coming out of turn number 2, you push the car a little wide, clip that tire out of turn number 2, and up and over once. Wing comes off the top. There's another flip. That'll be number 2. Let's see. Flip number 3 for Ernie Williams. Can he match the 8 from earlier? There's number 4 technically. And do we have a 5 for Ernie Williams Jr.? Yeah, we've got a 5 for Ernie Williams Jr. So we've seen an 8 flip wreck. We've seen a 5 flip wreck now. What's to come here for DOB 410 Sprint Cars at Volusia Speedway Park? Turn 2, Matt, absolutely treacherous.
Yeah, that wall, it tends to come out, jump out
Yeah.
when you're least expecting it. You
Yeah,
know, you never know when it doesn't have legs, but I swear, or arms, but I swear it jumps out and grabs you.
It somehow grows them and it grabs that right rear tire and sky ground, sky ground, sky ground. That's all you see.
Yeah, and again, if you're in a motion rig or a VR, I'm sure you're pretty dizzy after that.
Hey, I'll be honest, I play in VR every now and then. It's not that bad, but it is slightly disorientating whenever you are 100 foot in the air flipping over end, especially if you're in a motion rig. I couldn't imagine that. Does the motion rig like turn upside down? I don't know what happens with that. Is off of turn number 4, however, Matt, we're coming back green.
Forth.
Yeah, definitely would shake back and forth, but out of turn number 4, green flag going to fly once again. Shell your leader, and let's turn the camera's attention back to the battle for 8th. David Heileman currently holds that 8th and final transfer spot with Lane Stevens right in front of him here battling for 7th. Heileman, slide job, Matt.
David Heileman throws a slider up, and now he's up into that 7th position. Lane Stevens trying to return the favor, just not quite enough momentum to do that as they go into turn 3. David Heileman going to choose the bottom, and 17 of Putney's going to stay in the middle.
Yeah, Matt, and while you say that, we took the white flag around for the final time here. Tyler Shell looks like he's going to take B-main victory out of turn number 4. He'll be on the bottom. He'll win it. Brickley, 2nd. 3rd, give it to Sebeski. 4th to McGeethy. 5th to Heileman. 6th to Putney. 7th to Stevens. And I believe Larry Moody comes in and claims the 8th and final transfer to tonight's main event. So Tom the Boob not going to transfer. He'll watch it from the trailer. So will Miles Jansen Jr. and the rest of the field that did not finish. So something a little bit different here in DOB for this event and rest of the season will be your 6-car dash. Instead of a warm-up, they will do a 6-car dash. The top 2 finishers, or it'll actually be 8 tonight. Top 2 finishers out of each heat race will take to the track for a 6-lap shootout. That will determine your top 6 for this event. Let's see if I can tune on in here. As we will pop in with, let's see who was in that top 2, Matt. Let's look at.
Kenny Miller should have been first. I think he won the first heat race.
Believe so. Let me find him on my list here. There's Kenny Miller, the 3rd. Well, Chris may be doing something to get these guys staged up for it, possibly, as we don't see any cars on the speedway as of yet.
So how it should run down, how I think it's going to run down, is Kenny Miller's going to lead you off to the green with Kenny Hoffman 2nd, Darren Detweiler 3rd, Sean Briscoe 4th, Mason Hannigan 5th, Daniel Harrell 6th, Billy Rouse 7th, Casey Miller 8th, and that should be your dash.
Well, while they're loading that up there, let's go ahead and pull up the full-on B main results to show you guys exactly what went down there. Tyler Shell pulled out the win with Brickley second, Sobieski third, McGeethy, Heileman, Rutney, Stevens, Moody, LeBaub, Jansen, Williams, Lamberson, Satterfield, Matson. The 14 cars that initially took green, they finish in that order for your official B main event. Still waiting here on some drivers to take to the track for this 6 or 8 car dash here tonight.
No cars on the track just yet.
Well, hey, man, I guess this is a good time to let the people watching at home know that tonight's broadcast of the Dirty Old Bastards 410 Sprint Car Series is brought to you by Design Metal Art, JZ Photography, Tim Sims iRacing, powered by iRacing, Wicked Cushion Esports, Wicked Brands Incorporated, and Forrest Wegg, lawyer in Missouri. Talking Dirt TV is also brought to you exclusively by the Talking Dirt podcast, dropping tomorrow morning wherever you find your favorite podcast, whether it be iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcast, whatever the case may be. Find Talking Dirt, the podcast, tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we have some, real fun conversations going on over there. It's
A little bit of Eldora talk, too.
Entertaining. A lot of Eldora talk yesterday with the finishing of the Dream last night and the running of the World 100 this weekend.
Yeah, World 100 going on right now for their first of 2 prelim nights. So, going to be exciting to review that next Thursday or Friday's episode. As we see a bunch of cars taking to the field now, that'll be your 8 cars for this dash event. As we see here, you see Mason Hannigan there in the number 22. You see Sean Briscoe in the number 36. Kenny Hoffman will drive car number 001. Casey Miller, Kenny Miller, Chris Sobieski, Darren Detweiler, and Billy Rowley will be the 8 cars here for this 8-car dash, Matt.
It's a different way to shake things up a little bit. Gonna settle out our starting order here as you're getting on the loud pedal. 36 of Sean Briscoe had a little bit of internet issues and got off to a good start there. We go too wide here, further back in the field.
Yeah, Matt, I'm just looking at these guys racing their tails off right now. Kenny Miller looks to be our leader. Rowley second. Detweiler, Darren Detweiler way up on the top shelf. Or down to the bottom, excuse me, in car 3D. Mason Hannigan currently at the back of the pack. Look up front here, the Billy Rowley and Kenny Miller locking horns down the back straight away. There's a good look, and up and over. As soon as I start talking about him, Rowley up and over, and that will bring it into his night, unfortunately.
Well, his night for the dash.
Yeah, the night for the dash. Excuse me, Matt. If this was real life, his night would be done kaput forever. Oh, another one up and over. Kenny Hoffman. Matt, another one up and over. Kenny Hoffman. That is no bueno, says Mr. Kenny Hoffman. As we look on here, Mason Hannigan trying to make a run. As we've completed, I believe we're halfway so far in this dash with Kenny Miller well out in front of this field.
And the wonderful thing about the virtual racing.
Look at this, 4 wide.
That,
Mason Hannigan.
You can go all out like you've been seeing right here in this dash, and not have to worry about it because you'll get a new car for the feature, and you're already in the feature. So why not?
So slowing it all down, I believe Kenny Miller, your winner. Detweiler should have been second. Let's see here. I believe Chris Sobieski third, Sean Briscoe fourth, and then it should have been Miller, Hannigan, and then the 2 that raked out there, Billy Rowley being the main one that that wrecked out during that event right there. So the lineup has been set. Chris is going to change it around once we get going here. But I believe going to open the track up for a little bit of warm-up, and they're probably getting talk over from a setup builder, Jared Detweiler, telling them, guys, you have to take it easy out of turn number 2. It is killing way too many of these beautiful race cars.
Yeah, turn 2 here seems to be really tricky with these guys, but hopefully we can get it together in this race and have a good clean 35 green laps.
I sure hope so. There's some donuts being had down there in pit road as everybody is about ready to go. Did they switch it forward? I believe we may have switched it forward to tonight's main event 1 of 2 for the evening. This one from the virtual Volusia Speedway Park, the world's fastest half-mile dirt track here in beautiful Barberville, Florida. As they line it up, Matt, we're going to go ahead and pull up your starting grid for tonight's main event. So starting from the point, it will be Kenny Miller in car 1, 2, 3. Outside of him will be Kenny Hoffman, I do believe. Now, they may actually have this just about right. Darren Detweiler, Sean Briscoe was involved in a caution during that, so he'll move down. I'll tell you what, just to make this one easy, we'll go from 9th on back. Adam Elby will start from the 9th spot. 10th will be Joshua Paquel. 11th, Alex Rzenski. 12th will be Chris Roberts, the Catfish. Matt, who we got behind him?
Behind Chris Roberts will be Braden Eiler, Kevin Click, Richie Peterson, Ivan McKenzie, Preston, excuse me, Tyler Shell, Billy Brickley, Chris Sabaski. Then we got Nicholas McGeethy, David Heileman, Spencer Putney, Lane Stevens, and Larry Moody will start shotgunning tonight's feature.
That is exactly right. Larry Moody will be the shotgun man on the field, but don't count him out to come all the way from the back to the front. Up front, I believe we've gotten the 1-to-go signal from your starter here. Let's see. The field going to re-line up the way they're supposed to be. So it's Miller, Detweiler, Briscoe, Sabeski, Hannigan, Miller, Rowley, and Hoffman, the top 8 for this initial start. Matt Pridgeon, as we go down the back straightaway for the final time before we get going here tonight.
Yes, sir, and again, Kenny Miller bringing us to the green flag. Lights still on the pace truck.
Oh, wow. Yeah, lights will go out this time. Excuse me.
I think they extended caution just to make sure the lineup's set in the correct order.
Right.
From that finish of the dash. There's a little bit of confusion there. You know, you got iRacing tell you to be somewhere and somebody coming on over the radio telling you to go somewhere else.
Oh, exactly right. Now, this initial start, it's all under Chris Roberts' discretion. He will choose when to clear blacks, and he has done so for the top of the field. So it's Miller, Detweiler, Sabaski, Briscoe, your top 4. We're coming to a green flag for round number 1 of season 17 of the DOB 410 sprint cars, and they are already beating and banging towards the back, and that will probably trigger a caution here on lap number 1. Yes, it will, Matt.
Yeah, had my eyes on Kenny Miller there, not too sure what happened. Unfortunate to see a caution on the first lap. Yeah, like to see some green flag runs, but hopefully everybody settles down and I'm going.
Well, I'm going to throw it in replay really quickly because I believe Tyler Shell involved here. See if we can back it all the way up and see exactly what happened. As Shell coming down the front straightaway there in the 85, and everybody in front of him involved. Yeah, big melee here at Volusia. We'll bring out caution number 1 for tonight's 35-lap main event. And I believe that's going to set us up possibly for a double file restart here, as we haven't even really started this one yet. Kenny Miller will be back on the point. Detweiler, Sebeski, Briscoe, Miller, Hannigan, Hoffman, Rowley, Piquel, and Szerzynski. Your top 10, and then sitting right outside the top 10 right now is the Catfish, Chris Roberts. Matt, you know why I call Chris the Catfish?
I'm assuming because he likes to run the bottom.
He's always on the bottom. That's a nickname that I started about, 3 years ago. Last time I called DOB, and it's sticking now. Is Chris still a bottom feeder, to say the least? Kenny Miller up there in the number 1, 2, 3. I believe we'll restart a single file style here at the Volusia Speedway Park. As we head down the back straightaway, give you guys an up-close and personal look at these cars that are heading into turns 3 and 4. Heading for a green flag, I believe, this time, right, Matt?
Yep, we are going green. The pace truck is pulling in. Kenny Miller on the gas. Roll off into turn 1. See to 79. Billy Rao not do anything just yet because we have another caution. Going back to try to figure out what happens here. Ooh,
What we got?
the 5 of Brandon Eiler flips that that wall, jumps out and grabs him. I saw the arms come out of that wall, and I saw his legs jump up, and he just grabbed him. And now he is in the pits.
So that'll be tough for Braden Eiler. Car 005, saw him a couple of years ago come in and dominate some of the series. So Kenny Miller still in that 123, going to be your race leader for this next restart. So that was tough there, man. Hate to see it for Braden Eiler. Heartbreak hotel this early on in this race. But out of turn number 4, I believe that's going to be the pace truck turning the lights off, signaling us for 1 lap to go until we go back green flag racing here, Matt.
Now, I'm not sure if my scoring is off, but it is showing me that Chris Sebeski is in the 3rd position, or in the 3rd position, that he started 19th. Not too sure. I don't think that's quite right.
No, it's not. Because remember, he had that issue during the heat race, and it scored him a lap down.
That's right.
So he is currently in 3rd. I believe started 3rd as well. So out of turn number 4, Kenny Miller going to bring us back to a green flag here, Matt, and we are back racing at the world's fastest half mile here at Volusia Speedway Park. And off into 1 and 2. Let's see who's the next to be bitten by the turn 2 bug. As down the back straightaway, everybody seems to get it right this time. As we come around to finally complete a lap in this race. Not sure what's bugging out here. As we come around to finally complete a lap in this race. And the battle's on for the 5th spot. Casey Miller on the outside has it. Up in front of them, though, Darren Detweiler now back to 2nd over Sebeski. And we are racing 2 wide here at Volusia, Matt.
Mason Hannigan, big run coming off of turn 2, gets around the 36 of Sean Briscoe. That'll move him up into the 5th position as he starts to track down Casey Miller, try to gain that 4th spot.
So lap 7 of 35 being worked on right now. Only driver in the top 5 up on the top shelf is currently Mason Hannigan.
Ooh.
As what you got, Matt? We got one falling back. Kenny Hoffman looks like
Hoffman.
Big wreck down the back straightaway.
That wall strikes again, going off of turn 2. Hit him in the right rear, and up he goes. And unfortunately, other cars follow along and get involved in the carnage.
Yeah, Matt, exactly right. As a bunch of cars involved here on the wreck on lap number 85. As Kenny Miller will continue to lead us Tough break for all involved there. Hoffman, Elby, Szerzynski looks like they're all involved, as well as a plethora of others. Lane Stevens involved in that one, as well as we're already thinning the field out here at Volusia for this 35 lap main event.
And it's showing iRacing showing me there's 7 laps complete so far. I think we've had 3 cautions.
Yeah, it'll be 7 laps complete.
We've had what, 3, 4 cautions already?
Yeah, 3. Yeah, you're exactly right. No, this will be the 3rd caution.
3rd caution, yeah. That I believe that turn 2 wall monster is the cause of it all so far.
Yeah, we saw it on Tuesday night with the 360 series, turn 2 becoming a problem. And we're seeing it again here tonight with the 410s, as we're only 7 or 8 laps now into this 35 lap A main event. So not what you want if you're the drivers up top so far, Matt.
Yeah, because if you're Kenny Miller, you want those long green flag runs to try to put some space between you and Darren Detweiler. If you're Darren Detweiler, you want the green flag runs to try to move around Kenny Miller. Kenny Miller is in the lead, but caution laps do not count, so he's going to have to get it under green as he is back on the loud pedal.
Yeah, back on the loud pedal down into turns 1 and 2. If we pull it back up here, Miller with about a half a second already over Detweiler, who is around Sebeski. Right behind him, Casey Miller battling alongside Mason Hannigan. Back to the top shelf goes Hannigan. Casey Miller currently rides in the 5th spot in car number 05. Miller still in 5th. Back behind him, it's a hornet's nest. Go all the way back to Chris Roberts there in the 93 car. Ivan McKenzie, the lone Aussie in this race, rides around in 12th right now. Billy Brickley, after transferring in from the B main event, he currently rides in 14th. Spitzer Putney, Larry Moody out there as well. Couple of lap down cars in the field here. As we cycle the camera back up front, Miller, good advantage, 1.2 seconds over Double D here, Matt.
Yeah, Mason Hannigan found something up there on that top shelf, and he passed 2 cars while you were giving the rundown. Now he's gunning for the 2nd position as he gets around Darren Detweiler coming off of turn 4, but I'm not sure if it'll stick because the caution has flown.
Yeah, caution.
He's been able to, Mason Hannigan able to keep it off of that turn 2 wall monster so far. So it's showing some real speed up there, but it can get a little sketchy.
So the caution flies for Billy Rowley in car 79, up and over once. Let's see, twice. And sticks it. So Rowley just flips twice there. Doesn't match the 9 that we saw earlier, but still a tough break for driver number 79. Caution here with 23 laps to go, Matt.
23 to go. We knocked a few laps off there. Had a decent little green flag run. Unfortunate to see the caution come out because Mason Hannigan was absolutely flying on that last restart. I believe he started that last restart in 6th, and in the amount of 5 laps,
yeah,
he puts it up in the 3rd position.
Yeah, Mason, a young man there in the number 22 out of Pittsboro, Indiana, looking pretty good so far here tonight, trying to track down Double D and Kenny Miller to see if he can capture his first win here in the first race of the season. Darren Detweiler, one of the admins for the league setup builder, so he's got just as much experience on the setup as anybody else, and probably plus some. But he's chasing down Morgantown, Pennsylvania's Kenny Miller, who out of turn number 4 here, Matt, I believe going to take the 1 to go to green this time.
Yeah, I'm trying to track down this pace truck. You can get a little tricky using this iRacing.
Well, yeah, pace truck lights are out as it heads out of turn number 2. So we will go back green flag racing out of turn number 4. Miller, Detweiler, Hannigan, Sebeski, Miller, your top 5. Following them, it's Briscoe, Piquel, Heileman, Chris Roberts, and Kevin Click, the top 10. So good run so far for Roberts. David Heileman up How about this, Matt? Hard charger so far. David Heilman up
Oh, yeah.
13 spots. I told you to watch this guy. He's quick, and he's showing it here tonight. Is off of turn number 4. Pace truck's off. Green flag flies here at Volusia. 22 laps to go. Or 23, excuse me.
Yeah, Mason Hannigan back on the top shelf. He's going to try to pick back up where he left off at.
Absolutely. And
he is going to get around Darren Detweiler coming off of turn 4, completing lap 14 or 13.
well, it looks like through 3 and 4, Miller's kind of picked up on Hannigan's secrets as he heads to the top shelf. Hannigan a bit of a slide job line as he will run it from the bottom to the top here in 1 and 2. He's all cushion all the time as he goes down the back straightaway, and caution flies for Joshua Piquel and I believe Sean Briscoe. Involved in this one with 20 laps remaining here, Matt.
A little short green flag run there, but saw Mason Hannigan use every millimeter of that cushion to get around Darren Detweiler. He is absolutely hammered down on it, and it is when you see a driver hang on the cushion like that on iRacing, it's really impressive because you don't get the feel as you do in the car, and it's real easy to hop over it and get into the wall.
So Joshua Piquel involved, Sean Briscoe involved, Spencer Putney collects a piece of it as well to bring out caution here with 20 laps remaining of 35. Here at the Volusia Speedway Park, expecting another good performance coming up next as we head to Lima, Ohio, to the world-famous Limaland Speedway for another, I believe this one will be also 35 laps, if I'm not mistaken, for that feature event as well. But there's a good look at current race leader Kenny Miller, the third, there in car number 23. Let's have a look at second place right now, Mason Hannigan. I'm watching this guy closely, Matt. If he gets to it, if he finishes in the top 3, going to be a fun interview to ask him about the gall it took for him to get up on the top shelf and absolutely let it cook. As you see, Darren Detweiler, Double D, in car number 3D, looking good so far as well. As Matt, what we got on the pace truck here?
We have lights out. We will be going green.
We have lights out. We got a car coming back onto the track to catch up. I believe that one is Joshua Piquel and Kevin Click. So both of those cars going to rejoin us here as the field already in turns 3 and 4. Pace truck looking like it's going to head down off of the half-mile straightaways. And on the loud pedal goes Miller way up to the top shelf as Hannigan tried the bottom on the start here, but Mason automatically to the top here, Matt, as we're back underway.
Yeah, and Kenny Miller's out to a good lead right now, but Mason Hannigan looking to close that out as we look back in the field. 3 wide battle for the 4th position, or 3rd position, excuse me.
So you have Detweiler in the 3D. He's in 3rd, 4th right now. Sabeski trying to hold it off from Miller and Heileman as David Heileman looking to be hard charger perfection here tonight as he's currently up to the 5th spot. Look to the inside. Here comes Casey Miller. Here comes Chris Roberts in the 93 car. Everybody trying to cook a little bit down on the bottom here, Matt. 17 to go. And look at the battle for the lead. Slide job from Kenny Miller. Hannigan going to load one back up on the bottom as they head off into 1 and 2. Matt's slide job not going to be attempted by Mason Hannigan down the back straightaway.
Mason Hannigan out in the lead, back up on his spot in the top shelf. Coming up on a little bit of lap traffic as Kenny Miller tries the bottom once again. Not quite working this current stage in the race. Slide job line through 3 and 4 to get around the lap traffic.
Yeah, Miller's got to pick him up and throw him over his shoulder here if he wants to get back around Mason Hannigan. This guy is absolute money right now. Let's look at a battle further back. You got Larry Moody. He's currently in 8th. And back behind him, Ivan McKenzie and Billy Brickley are battling for a spot inside the top 10. That'll be for 9th. You see McKenzie there on the outside. Brickley on the outside, McKenzie on the inside there. As Brickley gives way to McKenzie. McKenzie holds down the spot. Back up front, it's starting to stretch out here. Hannigan a half a second over Miller. But third, holding down all by his lonesome is Darren Detweiler. And then it's a ways back to fourth. David Heileman to fourth. Casey Miller in fifth. Sabeski in sixth. And it's Chris Roberts right in behind him. Matt, going to be 10 laps to go next time we cross the stripe.
And Casey Miller and David Heileman throwing sliders back and forth, crossing each other over. Heileman into the wall a little bit last lap in turn 2, but able to snatch it away from the wall monster, as they are absolutely what you call ripping the lip here tonight at Volusia.
Absolutely, Matt. You're 100% spot on right. Behind these guys, a battle between Chris Roberts and Chris Sabeski. The battle of the Chris's here at a 1 and 2. Roberts on the bottom. I do not expect a slide job out of the Catfish, as he's going to let Sabeski have the top. And Chris going to extend that advantage out by about 3 car lengths as they head off into turns 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway, still Sabeski over Roberts, who continues to cook on the bottom shelf. Caution flag. Matt, caution flag will wave. I believe it's going to be McKenzie in the 07 as he's slow down at the bottom of the speedway.
Yeah, I saw a car spinning in turns 1 and 2. Not sure if that was him or not. But awesome battle between David Heileman and Casey Miller. I have my eyes absolutely glued to that battle. You know, like I said, still throwing sliders back and forth. David Heileman slipped up just a little bit coming out of 2 a couple laps ago, but it allowed Casey Miller to drive on around the outside of him, but absolutely banging the cushion here in this race.
Well, the caution there was the 46 of McKenzie getting awfully loosey-goosey in turns 1 and 2. Just about goes around, but I believe out of protection here, the iRacing servers threw the caution here with just 7 laps remaining, Matt. This could not be any closer. Hannigan has to do all he can to defend against Kenny Miller, who has been so good on restarts all night long. If Miller times this one up just right, we're going to have an absolute mad dash for the win here tonight. So your top 5 currently looks like Mason Hannigan, Kenny Miller, Darren Detweiler, Casey Miller in 4th once again, and David Heileman, hard charger, in the 5th spot.
Yeah, he has been absolutely flying this race. He's gained. Can't do the math.
Let's see 16? Here. I believe it's going to be 16.
Yeah, 16. 16 spots in a matter of just 28 laps. That's pretty impressive. He's been able to avoid all the wrecks that's been going on, and avoid the wall monster as hard as they've been racing there up on the top there in 1 and 2. Him and Casey Miller both made me nervous here a couple times.
Yeah, absolutely insane as the pace truck dips down off of turn number 4. Hannigan has to have a good restart here. It looks like he does so, as he will have Miller on his coattails as they head off into turns 1 and 2. Miller down to the bottom. Kenny has Darren Detweiler to contend with for the 2nd spot. Look at this run from Casey Miller down the back straight away, Matt, as we head to 3 and 4.
Yeah, got a little bit of shaking up almost there. Casey Miller was absolutely flying coming out of turn 2, as he is again this lap. Gonna slip up halfway down the straightaway, but Darren Detweiler is gonna give him
Miller to the wall.
behind, and he's gonna throw the
Miller into the wall. Miller up and over.
Yeah, up and over. The wall monster has moved down to turns 3 and 4.
You're exactly right. As the wall monster reaches out and grabs Casey Miller and puts an unfortunate bruise on his excellent night so far, as we will take it to the TV1 cam and slow it down when Miller gets into 3 and 4 here. There he is up into the wall. Up into it again here in the middle and off of force. He swings just out wide into the wall, up and over after bouncing quite a few times is Casey Miller. And that will put an unfortunate probable end to his opening race of the night, as he then collected the 21 car of Sabeski. And Casey Miller not going to be a happy camper as we come out of Volusia Speedway Park and head to Limaland here in just a little while. So going to restart, Matt. Going to be 5 laps to go. And right now, the money's got to be on Mason Hannigan. He has been bad fast the past 15 or so laps.
Oh yeah, for sure. But you can't, anybody in that top 5 right now, is sitting in a pretty good position to win this race. I mean, you never know what's going to happen when it comes down to the last lap. We saw Casey Miller. He was about to fly by Darren Detweiler there on the outside, but slipped up coming off of turn 2, and it just carried over into 3 and 4 and carried him up in the wall. But looks like it's dangerous, but the top side's where you want to be if you want the most speed out of the car.
Exactly, but you have to be uber careful. So that one puts the Catfish into the top 5. Chris Roberts up, I believe it's going to be, what here, 7, 8 spots, up 7 spots for Chris Roberts, up 17 spots for driver 49, David Heileman. Detweiler started 3rd, currently 3rd. Miller started 1st, currently 2nd. Hannigan started in the 5th spot. He's up to the pole for this restart with 5 laps to go from the Volusia Speedway Park for round 1 of the 17th season. Race number 1 for DOB as Mason Hannigan off of turn number 4. Green flag going to be back in the air, Matt. 5 laps to go.
And Darren Detweiler, he started 3rd. He's running 3rd. Trying to make up a couple of spots. He's rolling the bottom right now, throwing the slider line through turns 3 and 4, trying to gain on the 23 of Kenny Miller.
He is doing so because in turns 1 and 2, Detweiler to the bottom. Oh, contact. That's no bueno.
Oh.
Man, oh man, not what you want at all if you're Heileman, Miller, Detweiler, Matt. Heartbreak Hotel check-in for 3.
Yeah, it took out quite a few drivers in your top 10. I mean, that was your 3rd and 4th place. They got together, and then just everybody behind them got collected.
Well, let's have another look at it here as we take you to the TDTV replay. We'll cut them loose down the front straightaway here. And we'll take a look at the 3D of Detweiler. There's contact out of turn 2. And both cars go around Miller and Detweiler. Heileman right into the back end of it. And let's see if anybody else catches a piece. Roberts gets lucky on the outside that he didn't catch Miller. So only 3 cars involved here, Matt. But a heartbreaker for all 3 guys involved as Heileman was up 17 spots. She doesn't get any better than going into the top 3 after starting at the back. So current top 3 as we'll restart this one. I believe green-white checkered will be Mason Hannigan on the point. Chris Roberts. And now in 3rd, Larry Moody in the 73. How about that, Matt? How about this? Larry Moody now after that up 21 spots. Matt, write that down if we get a chance to talk to this young man.
Oh yeah, that's impressive. Again, being able to stay out of trouble, stay out of cautions, run a clean race, and be patient.
Oh, exactly right. Oh man, this has been fun to say the least here at Volusia so far. Looking like the Premier Series for DOB as Mason Hannigan leads us into turns 3 and 4. Remember, this restart will be green-white checkered. As the pace strikes off of turn number 4, Hannigan got a hold off the Catfish and Larry Moody for 2 more laps. Green flag and a flat on turn number 4. Bad restart for Chris Roberts.
Yeah, Mason Hannigan jumped up on the top shelf pretty late there and took off, but the 17 of Putney trying to make a move around Larry Moody, getting into that 3rd position as we take the white flag. 1 lap to go for Mason Hannigan.
Yeah, 1 lap to go for Mason Hannigan. Battles on for the 2nd spot. Hannigan into turns 3 and 4. Looks like he will seal the deal. Mason Hannigan, winner number 1 for DOB 410s. Roberts 2nd. Moody comes home in the 3rd spot. 4th will be Spencer Putney. 5th will be Kevin Click up 9 spots. Putney was up 18. Moody, your hard charger for the race. He'll be up 21, finishing third. Highland comes home in the 6th spot. Brickley comes home in the 7th spot. Then it's Double D Darren Detweiler, Ivan McKenzie, Joshua Paquel round out the top 10. But your race winner, Matt Pridgeon, in car number 22 for the first time this season, Mr. Mason Hannigan. As we'll see, we're waiting on Mason to hop up in here to the broadcast booth to have a word with us. We'll have a word with your top 3 at the conclusion of this one. As there he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Mason Hannigan, your winner here tonight. And we'll pull him up in here with me and Matt. And we'll make sure, Mason, Ryan up at the TDTV Tower. You got a copy on me, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Boy, oh boy, what a feature. A little rocky at the start, but once you got that thing rolling, man, this car absolutely on a rail, and it seemed like you figured out something that not a lot of people figured out from the jump. Is that top side. If you hit it right, it was absolutely killer.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just in the dash, it was rolling, and I just stuffed myself in the fence. So I knew it was going to be fast. I just needed to stay off the fence. And that's what we did. Just ran a nice solid 35 clean laps there, and yeah, I got the Kenny, and Kenny's obviously out front, and he's kind of lost, obviously, because you don't know where the people behind you are running unless somebody's in Discord telling you. But yeah, I just got to him, and I ran up a little bit quicker on him than I thought there out of 2, and I just kind of turned down the racetrack and slid him in 3, and just kind of went from there. And then I never really heard him, but the relative has the timing up. It was within 4/10 at one point, and I was like, didn't know if it was on the middle or the bottom or something. Or maybe if he was running the top faster than I was, I honestly don't know. But he was fast there, and then all of a sudden he was gone. So yeah, it was a good race though between me, Kenny, and some of the front guys there at the end.
Yeah, it absolutely was. And then following this, we'll basically completely change directions. We're heading from this big half mile. We head all the way to Lima, Ohio. Limaland coming up next, Mason. What are you expecting on that one? Because this is about to get fun, in my opinion.
I won't be racing it, unfortunately.
Oh, come on.
It's a little, I don't know. I just showed up to Volusia just to race. We'll be back. Hopefully, we'll be back next week. I'm not sure. I don't know if we'll end up running for points or not. But I'm not a fan of Limaland myself, and so I won't give myself a headache tonight. So I may show up. I may not. We'll see. But the plans are for now is probably not. So
well, hey, I'm not gonna say that I'm counting on you, but I'm counting on you. But anyways, Mason, before we let you go celebrate this win here at Volusia, who do you want to thank on the car for getting you here?
Yeah, all the boys at Black Diamond Motorsports for sure. It's fun racing with all them boys, and especially on Tuesday nights when we get all of us. So can't thank them guys enough. Velocity Race Designs for the new wrap for this season, and can't thank UDTV, Tim Sims, everybody at DOB, all the admins, Chris putting it on, and all the sponsors that help out Chris and you guys for broadcasting. And I don't know if we'll be back next Tuesday or not, or Thursday, so we'll just have to see. Maybe tonight. We'll see. I don't know.
Hey, maybe
like Scott Bloomquist, we just show up we want.
and try to get through take and they deny you.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it's been fun, Mason. Once again, congratulations on this win, and hopefully we'll see you very soon. If not, hopefully we see you next week as we roll on with DOB.
Thank you.
So again, that was Mason Hannigan, and I'll see if I can get our second place finisher up in here, Mr. Chris Roberts. I'll go ahead and add him in his little Discord call and see if he wants to have a post-race interview off of race number 1 here. If not, we'll skip straight to Larry Moody. There he is, joining us in the booth now. Second place finisher here tonight. The luckiest man in Volusia, Mr. Chris Roberts. Chris, I mean, tell me about it, dude. You ride around in the 5th spot almost all night long, and then right there, green, white, checkered, everything goes out the window.
Yeah, I don't think I really passed a single car. I know David passed me, and then I think just stayed away from the walls and kept my nose clean.
Yes, you kept your nose clean, and it got you a second place finishing spot here, which is great for the points. Heading to Limaland. Just talked to our race winner, and he wasn't very keen on Limaland. What do you think we're about to see here with DOB at Limaland, Chris?
Seasons past, open setup, I'd say a pretty good race. I'd be catfishing like crazy down at the bottom. With the setups now with the custom fixed, and you actually have to drive the car.
Mm-hmm.
it should be a good show, but if people overdrive the car, you might see people actually just spin out all by themselves.
Well, I know you got
if
some fans out there, yeah.
yeah, if people are patient with the car and actually drive the track, it could be a good race. If not, who knows what we're gonna see.
Well, we're certainly cheering for you to put on another fantastic performance here. But Chris, before I let you get back to the other call, who do you want to thank on the car? Who got you here on second tonight?
I just gotta thank all my guys, for the help that they give me. Darren for stepping up and making these custom fixed setups. They're fun. You got to drive it. So once again, you just got to have patience and drive the thing. Got to thank everybody who come together to make Thursday nights possible. JZ Photography, Wicked Brands, I-55 Lawyer, and some more of the Wicked Cushion family there chipped in to make Thursdays possible. So, thanks to all of them and everybody who comes out. Looking forward to another one.
Absolutely. We'll look forward to seeing you here in just a couple of minutes over at Limaland. Chris, congrats on a second place finish to open the season.
Thank you.
So that was second place finisher Chris Roberts. One more person here out of race number 1. Your hard charger for tonight's race. Out of the great state of Missouri, Mr. Larry Moody. Larry, it's Ryan up in TDTV Tower. You got a copy on me, buddy?
Hey, Ryan. Yeah, I got you.
Man, that was absolutely insane there. You had the 73 on a rail, and hey, a little good luck never hurts anybody. Up 21 spots to finish third here, man. How are you feeling about this run?
I can't believe it. I mean, I squeaked into the feature to begin with. I was patient. I'm not known to be the fastest guy out there, but I've been pretty patient with this, and it paid off tonight.
Yeah, these fixed setups are proven to be a bit of a hassle for some of these guys. I mean, how are you adjusting to this series? Going fixed, and as we get into Limaland, a bit of an unknown. How are we feeling with that one?
I like the fixed setups. It kind of levels out the field a bit. Some of those guys that really are really good at running the top with their custom setups really don't have the same opportunities. So I enjoy it. I'm good with it.
Well, Larry, we're looking forward to another hard-charging run at Limaland. But first, go ahead and shout out the sponsors. Who do you want to thank for getting you the top 3 here during the season opener?
Well, my good friend Forrest Wiggy, he's the I-55 lawyer in Missouri. He kind of jumped on board with Chris and them. He's a good friend of mine. And all you guys for the broadcast and Chris for putting on the race. It's a lot of fun. I'm 59 years old and retiring in 2 weeks, so I enjoy this.
Yeah, good. Congrats on retirement, first off, and also congrats. Big top 3 finish here, Larry. We look forward to seeing you here in just a couple minutes as we head to Limaland.
Thanks a lot, guys.
So there we have it, your top 3 here from the Volusia Speedway Park for session number 1 of the night. Race fans, do not go anywhere. Take this time to go stretch your legs, go get yourself something to drink, something hot to eat, something cold to drink, get yourself some popcorn, whatever it takes to get you through this next session, as Limaland will be coming at you very, very soon here on TDTV with the DOB 410 Sprint Cars. Don't go anywhere. So we join you back live here now at the Limaland Speedway here in Lima, Ohio for round 1, session 2 of the 17th season of the Dirty Old Bastards 410 Sprint Cars. And there you see Lane Stevens currently on track in car number 33. Now let's pull up a little bit of our race information here. Nice weather out there, although 10-mile-an-hour winds will play a factor in this one here at this about 3/10 of a mile small bull ring oval here in beautiful Lima, Ohio. The Limaland Motorsports Park, of course, home to many, many great races in real life tonight. Home to another one of these awesome races from the DOB 410 Sprint Cars so far. Let's see, about 24, 25 cars signed in to partake here in session number 2. So looking like a pretty good car count for this one as well. Let's take a live look into the track to see what's cooking right now. As you see some of these times coming in, Hannigan currently the fastest driver. Wait a minute, not Hannigan. Where did that come from? Hannigan not even in here. Richie Preston, currently the fastest driver. Mason Hannigan not in attendance. Let's go ahead and do this button here. Go ahead and get everything reloaded. As session number 2 comes to an end. Looks like the next session here will be Michael Sheridan, Carter Chevalier back with us, Daniel Harrell, Tyler Henselman, Alex Szerzynski, Ivan McKenzie, Ernie Williams Jr., Tyler Schell, Ryan Scheid, all waiting to take some times. So there we go. Richie Preston, currently the fastest, 10.37 seconds on his lap. Braden Eiler, a tick slower. Braden Eiler, just barely slower. A 10.37 for Preston, a 10.38 for Eiler. Barely any slower. A 10.38 for Stevens, a 10.38 for Klick as well. So everybody is just a nose hair off of each other currently here at Limaland. There's Ernie Williams Jr. on track right now in car number 91. Ernie looking pretty good. Let's take a close camera in here. Look at that beautiful number 91 there for Ernie Williams Jr. Tyler Schell, quick. Michael Sheridan up into the top 7. And now Tyler Schell to 7th, taking over that spot there in car number 85. Ivan McKenzie on track in car number 07. Daniel Harrell in car number 11. Now Ernie Williams Jr. goes 7th, quick. Schell 8th. Sheridan 9th. And Harrell out of this group will be 18th, quick. So it looks like one more group, Tyler Henselman, Carter Chevalier, Alex Szerzynski, and Ryan Scheit to round it out for your hot lap sessions here tonight at the Limaland Motor Speedway. So real quick, before we really get into tonight's second session, let's go ahead and give one last shout out to all of the presenting sponsors here for the Dirty Old Bastards 410 Sprint Car Series live on Talking Dirt TV, of course. We've got Design Metal Art, JZ Photography, Tim Sims, powered by iRacing, Wicked, Cushion Esports, Wicked Brands, and we want to thank Forrest Wegge. I've been corrected on that one. It's actually Forrest Wegge, who is the I-55 lawyer in Missouri. Of course, TDTV sponsored and brought to you by the Talking Dirt podcast, which will go live tomorrow morning wherever you find your favorite podcast. A lot of great talk there, which is covered by myself and co-host Matt Pridgeon as we talked about everything from local racing here in South Carolina and North Carolina to Eldora's Dirt Late Model World 100 that is going on right now. So qualifying coming at you hot and heavy. Richie Preston on track right now as we take a live look in. You see the board on the top left. Let's see where these guys filter in. So giving him a lap here. Detweiler quickest so far. Eiler second. Let's see who else is on track. Let's watch out for Tim Alton here on lap number 2. Alton. Does he move at all? As he comes across, Alton will stay where he was. Now back to 10th as Ivan McKenzie cuts a quick one there in the 46. Ernie Williams Jr. on track now in number 91 off of turn number 4 here. And across, Ernie Williams Jr. 11th quick. Daniel Harrell are currently on track in the number 11 car. Oh, into the wall, Daniel Harrell. Not what you want, as he will end his qualifying session that way. Ryan Scheidt looks like the only car that hasn't taken the time, as Alex Szerzynski is finishing up his qualifying. Szerzynski stays in the 6th spot for the time being. Yes, he does. Alex Szerzynski in the 6th spot. Let's see if we get a time out of Ryan Scheidt. Not looking likely so far, as the driver of the number 10 car looks like he will choose not to take a qualifying time here. So you see it on the top left-hand corner of your screen. Darren Detweiler, quick time at a 10.31. And that'll lead us right into heat race number 1 that will grid as follows. So Darren Detweiler on the point. Richie Preston to his outside. Kevin McKenzie, or Ivan McKenzie, excuse me, alongside Nicholas McGeethy. Lane Stevens alongside Chris Roberts. Final row hard charger from session 1. Larry Moody in 73 alongside Daniel Harrell in car number 11 here for heat race number 1. And as we grid up for heat race number 1, you'll notice another absence from the booth. Matt had to dip out, unfortunately, once again. Getting up at 4 a.m. comes hard whenever you're staying up a little bit later. So we're going to work on either making him stay up later at night, or possibly me continue to do what I'm doing right now, which is just fine with me. Having some fun here at the Limaland Motorsports Park. As we get set for heat race number 1 of, I believe it's going to be 3 here tonight for session number 2 of the 410s for DOB. Darren Detweiler, Richie Preston, row number 1. Ivan McKenzie and Nicholas McGeethy, row number 2. Chris Roberts, Lane Stevens, row number 3. Daniel Harrell, Larry Moody, row number 4. So race fans at home, restart rule for the series. After the pace truck comes off the track, you got to pass that first light pole. As you get into turn number 3, you can fire anytime after the light pole. That's on initials and on restarts, I believe, for the series. So we'll see when Darren Detweiler decides to fire his 3D machine as we turn the cameras down on the field as they come out of turn number 4. Detweiler on the loud pedal. We're racing tonight at Limaland. Detweiler, a good run down the back straight away. As we got problems at the back. Moody and Harrell get together. They continue charging here. Back up front. Ivan McKenzie making moves in the 07. Oh, around goes Ivan McKenzie. Caution. Flag will wave. So that'll bring out caution number 1 here, as I believe McKenzie got a little too hot and bothered going into turns number 1 and 2. To bring out caution here with 8 laps to go in this first heat race of 3. Or possibly 4 if they got around 27 cars. Of course, I can't see that on my screen currently, but yeah, quite a few heat races to go here for the night with DOB. As Darren Detweiler going to lead us back to a green flag. Once we are able to fire. See what this pace truck here does as he dips down off of turn number 4. Detweiler making sure the belts are tight as he prepares to fire off a turn number 4 with Richie Preston up his backside. Green flag back in the air here at Limaland. Preston in second, third right now to McGeethy. There's Chris Roberts in fourth. Daniel Harrell, the final car on the speedway as Larry Moody pulled it off early. So Detweiler leads Preston as they head down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. We'll take a look at Nicholas McGeethy here as he tries to hold off Chris Roberts. Roberts trying to gather a run, nothing doing for him. Battle's going to be for the lead if we do have one. About a quarter of a second between your top two as we come out of turn number 4 down to 1/10. Oh, here we go. This is going to get good. Richie Preston's got a run. They head down the back straightaway. Richie Preston looking good here in car number 25. He pulls to the backside, looking for another run as he's up a little bit higher on the racetrack than Detweiler. Still going to stay high. Going to go to the outside possibly. Detweiler cuts him off down the front straightaway. They go. 3 laps remaining here in heat race number 1. Preston tried to deliver a slider. Nothing doing. They come back down the front straightaway here. Detweiler, a nose length advantage. 2 laps to go. Here comes the slide job. Slide job out of Richie Preston. Detweiler back to the bottom. This is getting good. Here comes Double D. Loads it up. Doesn't throw it. Just comes up. Oh, contact. But they all stay together. McGeethy. Detweiler now. Those guys are 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Contact. McGeethy takes the lead. And off into 3 and 4. And out of turn number 4. McGeethy's going to win it here. Battle for second. Preston holds on to it. Detweiler comes home third. What a heat race finish. Race fans watching at home for Nicholas McGeethy comes out with the big heat race 1 victory here. And he will be the first car locked into the dash. Coming up a little bit later on, should be just 6 cars, maybe 8 if we do have 4 heat races for this one. So how about Nicholas McGeethy over Richie Preston, Darren Detweiler, Chris Roberts, Daniel Harrell, and companies? We come out with heat race number 2, which lines up like this. You see Braden Eiler going to be on the point in car number 5. Billy Rowley going to roll off second. Third will be Carter Chevalier. Fourth will be Tim Alton. Fifth will be Tyler Schell. Joshua Piquel will be 6th. Michael Sheridan will be 7th. And Ryan Scheidt will round out the field here for heat race number 2 tonight at the Limaland Motorsports Park. As the pace truck rolls them off here, get a good look at your starting field. 8 cars deep for this one for 10 laps the distance. As we come across, the lights are going to go out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. Eiler, Rowley, row number 1. Alton, Chevalier, row number 2. As we're coming to a green flag out of turn number 4. Let's watch them closely. This could get interesting. Eiler on the loud pedal. And here we go. Off into 1 and 2 we go. Little beating and banging, pushing and shoving all over the racetrack. Top 4 right now. Eiler, Rowley, Chevalier, Schell. And we got contact at the back. Ooh, big contact at the back. Let's see if that one triggers a yellow. Yes, it does. Alton involved. Scheid involved. Piquel involved in that incident here. Not a lot of damage for multiple cars, but for Tim Alton, might just, in fact, ruin him for this heat race as Joshua Piquel comes in to try and repair as much damage as possible. And Braden Eiler, a happy man so far. 8 laps to go here. And he is your leader in heat race number 2. Chevalier 2nd, Rowley 3rd, and Tyler Schell in the 4th spot. Let's look down here, check on your 2 in the pit, see if they come back out once we hit that 1 to go to green mark. As you see, that's Joshua Piquel. That blue and white number 33. Tim Alton down there, the orange and black number 64. Field into 1 and 2. Let's see what these 2 decide to do. Piquel not moving an inch. Alton not moving an inch. There comes Piquel. And Alton may be done for the heat race. Unfortunate for Timmy Alton. The Canadian in car 64 is off into 3 and 4 we go. Eiler has them on the top shelf, looking for a clean restart out of car number 5 here, and there we go. Green flag back in the air here at Limaland. Field gonna shuffle through, going to turns 1 and 2, and down the back straight away we go. Ooh, one into the wall. Chevalier hard in the wall, and contact and caution. No caution. No caution here for Chevalier. Eiler continues to lead. He was in the wall. Now another one way up top. Billy Rowley trying to throw some haymakers. Doesn't work. Loses 2 spots. Michael Sheridan up to the 2nd spot. Rowley still rolling the top. Shied into the wall. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. These guys catching the wall here in these custom fixed setups. Eiler looks like a man on a mission here. Great advantage. You see it there. A straightaway over Michael Sheridan, Billy Rowley, and Joshua Piquel, your top 4. Ooh, Eiler in the wall. Eiler in the wall here with 4 to go. Make it 3. He's able to rebound, but catching him quickly as Sheridan makes his way around just about everybody. He's up in the 2nd spot. Rowley, Scheidt, and there you see Shell. But quickly approaching them is Braden Eiler. Eiler comes around turn number 4 to take his white flag this time, as he will come off of turn number 4. White flag, 1 lap rag in the air from the starter here at Limaland. And Braden Eiler off of turn number 2 down the back straight for the final time. Will take it to the bottom shelf, try to conserve the damage, and checkered flag for Braden Eiler. He'll win heat race number 2. Sheridan 2nd, Piquel 3rd, Rowley 4th. Shell and Scheidt cross 5th and 6th. Chevalier and Alton will not finish heat race number 2. So we head straight to heat race number 3, which is gridding up now. Kevin Klink will be on the point. Alex Szerzynski will start 2nd. Taylor Howell will start alongside Ernie Williams Jr. in the 91 car. Sean Briscoe will be alongside Tyler Henselman. And if he grids up, Billy Brickley will be the 7th and final starter for this race. There's Billy. And we will have 7 in this heat race. Race fans, I really hope you're enjoying the broadcast so far tonight. If you wouldn't mind doing so, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below so you never miss a second of the action here on TDTV. As we will be live again next Tuesday night for round number 2 of the DOB 360 Sprint Car season. That will be a double feature once again the next Thursday night right back here on TDTV. Round number 2 of the DOB 410 Sprint Car season with myself and Matt Pridgeon, or possibly a guest host for that one. So heat race number 3 will be going green this time as the pace truck dips down off of turn number 3. Kevin Klick, Alex Szerzynski, row number 1, Taylor Howell, Ernie Williams Jr., row number 2. Who takes the cake in heat race number 3? We'll find out here in 10 laps as we're green flag racing into turns 1 and 2, and 1 up and over already. Who was that? Alex Szerzynski. Well, so long I barely met you, and oh boy, it's getting interesting here down the front stretch. Klick and Brickley caught up together. Boy, oh boy, DOB is struggling right now. As far as a couple of drivers are concerned, is adjusting to these setups as they get up into the wall, and everybody still struggling here. Briscoe off the pace in 36. Henselman trying to get it back going. Billy Brickley on the... Good Lord, Billy Brickley on the wall. What in the heck is going on here? Billy Brickley out of the race. Okay. Ernie Williams Jr. is your new race leader. Excuse me. 6 laps to go. Taylor Howell 2nd. Sean Briscoe finally cutting some clean laps in the 36. He'll ride 3rd. Henselman is 4th. 4 cars left on the speedway. So it's all Ernie Williams Jr. out front. A 2-second advantage over Taylor Howell. And then it's a good gap back to Briscoe and Henselman as well. 4 make it. 3 laps to go as we cross the start-finish line. This time is Williams into the wall, not where you want to be. So final lap for Ernie Williams Jr. off of turn number 4. He will win it easily here in heat race number 3. Briscoe crosses second. Howell third. And Henselman clean to the finish. Finishes 4th. And then flips it. Wow. Okay. So, man, oh man. That will, I guess, skip us straight to warm-ups. Everybody to the feature. No B-main event here at Limaland. So I'll skip us straight to the warm-up. Top 6 to the dash after 3 heat races. See who we have fire up first. I believe race director Chris Roberts going over the lineups with the drivers. And while we do that, another shout out Design Metal Art, Jay-Z Photography, Tim Sims, powered by iRacing, Wicked Cushion Esports, Wicked Brands, Forrest Weggy, the I-55 lawyer in Missouri. Of course, the previous champion of this series was Double D, Darren Detweiler, looking good so far here at Limaland. Looked good at Volusia a little bit earlier before some late race contact ended his night. So tough break for Double D there. Hopefully he'll be able to rebound here in this second event of the night and get himself a fine finishing position on this race here, as we got a couple of them gridded up, ready to go. Let's see here. Who do we have? I heard an engine fire, but I don't see anybody just yet. Remember, top 2 from each heat went to the dash. And just an update here on the schedule for these DOB 410 sprints coming at you live on TDTV. Next Thursday night, we'll head to the Kokomo Raceway, Kokomo Speedway. That'll be a night race, 35 laps the distance at Kokomo. And then we will also be at, oh boy, this is going to get fun, Bristol Motor Speedway, the dirt track at Bristol, for 30 laps of side-by-side, beating and banging racing action here with the 410 sprint cars. All that action starts at 8 p.m. here, or 9 p.m., excuse me, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, here on TDTV. Now, for this dash, I see, let's see, 2, 4, 6 cars lined up, ready to go, 6 laps the distance. Looks like Richie Preston, Braden Eiler, 73 of Nicholas McGeethy. We're green flag racing out of turn number 4. Eiler, a great start into turns 1 and 2. We'll turn it back to the big cams here as he continues to lead. The scoreboard you're seeing just about correct. McGeethy a little further back, so we'll take that away. And we'll look here at Eiler, as there's a big pile up behind him. McGeethy involved, Preston involved. And I believe green flag going to stay out here, as Michael Sheridan currently second, Ernie Williams Jr. fourth. And we'll see where the others line up to go, as Eiler continues his domination here in this 6-man dash at the Limaland Speedway here in beautiful Lima, Ohio at night. There's Ernie Williams Jr. back there trying to get a lap back from Michael Sheridan. Or maybe he's trying to pass Sheridan. I'm not sure if Williams was involved in that wreck or not, but Sheridan's got him right now as Braden Eiler will win the 6-lap dash. Sheridan second, I believe Williams third. I'm not sure who after that. I believe it was Briscoe, then Preston, if I'm not mistaken, before we head into tonight's feature event. We'll see here if Chris opens up the track to some warm-up laps. I know that it might be needed. Track still a little bit on the tacky side, although everybody was pushing to the top, which, oh man, it just didn't work for a couple of guys, which is very unfortunate, as most of these guys very skilled 410 sprint car racers on the iRacing platform, but these fixed setups throwing loops at everybody so far tonight. Let's see who else we got down here. Eiler still on the staging lane, as we are waiting a brief second to see what happens with the server, as it looks like it'll be skipped forward and we'll line up for our main event of the night. So here is your starting grid. Again, it will be, I believe, Eiler and Sheridan to his outside. Then it'll be Ernie Williams Jr., I believe Briscoe, Sean Briscoe, then Richie Preston, and then starting sixth will be Nicholas McGeethy. So tough luck for Nicholas McGeethy after being involved in the caution there in the six-man dash. So starting from the 7th spot will be Double D Darren Detweiler. Joshua Backel will start 8th. Starting 9th will be Taylor Howell. Starting 10th will be Chris Roberts. Starting 11th will be Billy Rowley. Tyler Henselman will round out the top 12. Moving further back, you got starting 13th, Daniel Harrell in car number 11. Starting 14th, Tyler Schell in car number 85. Starting 15th, Billy Brickley. Starting 16th, Ivan McKenzie. Starting 17th, Ryan Scheidt. 18th, Kevin Click. 19th, Lane Stevens. 20th, Carter Chevalier. 21st, Alex Szerzynski. 22nd, Larry Moody. And your 23rd and final starter for this race here tonight, Tim Alton out of Canada, trying to do the O Canada all the way to the front from starting 23rd. Race fans watching at home, have a good look at these winged 410 sprint cars as they head down the back straightaway here at Limaland. Pace truck dips off, and we're going to be green flag racing once again tonight. Off of turn number 4, Eiler on the loud pedal, and we are green. 40 laps here at Limaland. Everybody into turns 1 and 2 cleanly. Down the back straightaway they go. The mid pack is starting to jumble up, keeping it on the big cams, so we can see anything that happens. Off into turns 1 and 2, 2 and 3 wide all over the speedway. Contact in the middle. Everybody keeps it clean for the time being as we continue to lead. Let's see if we start to space them out just a little bit. As Braden Eiler, good lead off the gun, about a second advantage over Richie Preston. As we continue to race 2 and 3 wide. Goodness, these guys all over each other. As we're looking on with the battle between Ernie Williams Jr. right now. He was trying to get around Richie Preston. Now opens the door for Sean Briscoe. Right behind them, Nicholas McGeethy trying to get his way back to the front. McGeethy was supposed to start on the pole after some bad luck earlier in the dash. Slide job out of McGeethy. Makes it stick. Gets in front of Briscoe. Now Briscoe back to the bottom. Slide job held off by Briscoe. Big moment there as Sean Briscoe finds the speed on the bottom to clear Nicholas McGeethy for position number 5. A little bit further back, a lot of position changes happening here. As you got Alex Szerzynski on the top shelf, riding the rail, pushing the cushion, as they say, around Billy Rowley. Carter Chevalier starting to march his way towards the front, having some internet issues is Chevalier. Tyler Schell right now all over the back bumper of Sean Briscoe. Chevalier up into the top 7, or Shell, excuse me, not Chevalier. Chevalier back currently in the 20th spot. Nicholas McGeethy, as caution waves, was making leaps and bounds back up to 6th after losing a couple of spots off the gun. So caution waves here, I believe, for Lane Stevens, possibly. As we take a look there at the number 33, we'll put it in replay mode and see if we can find out exactly what happened here to bring out caution for the first time at Limaland. No, don't believe it was Lane Stevens. He looked clean all the way through. Let's see if there's anybody else here. I'm not exactly seeing what happened there, but Stevens in the pits here, so must have had some damage from something at least, as we were at caution here with 11 laps in the books of our scheduled 40. As we got one exiting the pit surface, that is Lane Stevens. as we take the cameras back to the front, where race leader Braden Eiler fires on a turn number 4. We're back green flag racing here at Limaland. So right through the mid-pack, you see Piquel, Roberts, McKenzie, everybody battling for position up in the top 10. There's Tyler Shell there on the bottom in car number 86. Whoa, Shell. Oh, man, caution flag gonna fly once again here with 13 laps in the books. Tyler Shell involved in 85. Now we're gonna back it on up here and see if we can see exactly what happens here with your 2-time winner from Tuesday. As he comes to the pits here, you see him spun out there. Looks like he was all by his lonesome down there at the bottom. Just hits the tire and around goes 85. Bringing out caution number 2 on the night. As we bring it back live here, 13 laps scored in the books. As you're looking on there with the 91 of Ernie Williams Jr. currently 2nd place to that man, Braden Eiler, driver number 5 here at Limaland. Michael Sheridan currently 3rd. Richie Preston currently 4th. Sean Briscoe rounds out the top 5. Nicholas McGeethy back in 6th. Darren Detweiler in 7th where he started. It's Joshua Piquel in 8th. Let it file back around here. As it looks like we've taken the one to go going green out of turn number 4. Braden Eiler past the light pole in 3, and we're back racing here at Limaland. Off into 1 and 2. Ernie Williams Jr. gives him a bit of a run, but Williams not close enough to really make anything happen of it. As we had Alex Szerzynski around and caution back out here at Limaland. We'll hit your TDTV replay one more time. See what the caution exactly was. Is, oh man, yeah. As there was contact, I believe that's your Aussie, Ivan McKenzie there, that made contact with Szerzynski, and around goes Alec to bring out caution once again here at Limaland. Our 3rd caution so far this race, 14 laps in of 40. Back to green flag racing here. Eiler on the loud pedal. Williams fires right behind him as we keep it locked on your top 2 right now. Further back here, Piquel battling with Chris Roberts. The catfish down on the bottom right now. Up in front of them, McGeethy trying to work his way back up to the field, currently in 6th. And here we go. Sheridan, Preston start to lock horns for that 3rd spot. Everybody right up against the outside wall here at Limaland. Oh, Ivan McKenzie around. Gets into Daniel Harrell. Caution not flown just yet. Still green flag racing here at Limaland. So we continue to see Braden Eiler lead. Out front of Ernie Williams Jr., Richie Preston battling with Michael Sheridan for the 3rd spot. Sheridan's given up the chase, and now Darren Detweiler cooking something good looking on the bottom. Let's see if it's good out of Darren Detweiler as he goes into turns 1 and 2 here. Loses a lot of speed as he's pulled up on by Tyler Shell in 85, as well as, oh man, ooh, Detweiler. No, not what you want. Caution flag will wave once again here at Limaland. So let's take it DDTV replay one more time. See exactly what happens here with Detweiler. Again, he was around in turn number 4. And we'll watch it from here, and we will slow-mo it out of the turn. Contact with 36, and Detweiler goes around. Not what you want if you are the series defending champion. Ooh, a big shot there for... Ooh, man, the guy that was supposed to be on pole, the number 73 car. And I believe he might be in the pits as well as we sit. So is Detweiler, so it's still Eiler, Williams, Preston, Sheridan, Shell, Roberts, Piquel, Alton, Briscoe on track right now. McGeethy in the pits, Scheit in the pits, Stevens, Rowley, and McKenzie all in pit road currently. See if we can have a look here. There's a lot of them roll back out, repair just enough damage to continue on. And here comes a fleet of cars from the pits as the iRacing Pace truck dips into pit road. And off of turn number 4, we're going to fire him green. Once again, there comes Braden Eiler off of turn number 4. Ernie Williams Jr. right in behind him. See how clean and green we can take it. 19 laps to go as we look to Darren Detweiler to try and make up some of that time. He was up running in the top 5, and all of a sudden back to 11th. Not what you want after a dismal finish in the last race for a series defending champion, trying to do a repeat job. There is Chris Roberts, number 93, on the inside of Joshua Piquel. Piquel riding the cushion. Oh man, the announcer's jinx for Piquel puts him back behind Roberts. Up towards the front, Sheridan still in 4th, trying to chase down Richie Preston, who's on the back bumper of Ernie Williams Jr. Everybody beating and bouncing off of the wall, and there's the 07 of McKenzie getting put another lap down by race leader Braden Eiler, the cleanest man so far tonight in Lima, Ohio. Right behind him, Ernie Williams Jr., Richie Preston, Michael Sheridan still trying to make something happen on the bottom. And Tyler Shell is making his way through the field in car number 85 with 14 laps to go. Detweiler back up to 9th in car 3D. All the way up front, though, it's Braden Eiler by 2 seconds over Ernie Williams Jr. See what this battle for 3rd's looking like as Sheridan just took it away. As, oh man, Preston must have had something happen there, as he lost a lot of spots very quickly. So Shell gets around him, Piquel gets around him. Then you find Preston in the 25 as he has to rebound in a big way, dropping 3 spots. All just like that. All just like that. Richie Preston drops 3 spots. So Williams Jr. got a comfortable advantage over Sheridan for 2nd and 3rd. Shell trying to make some moves here. 2-time winner on the Tuesday night. Gets a little sideways coming out of turn number 4. 10 laps to go this time for Braden Eiler. All by his lonesome, lapping cars in the number 5. Take it back to the battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th right now. Piquel gets around Shell, trying to work on Sheridan for 3rd. Shell up to the 3rd spot there in car number 85. As Ernie Williams Jr. becoming in reach for these guys. He's got a lap car in front of Shell. Lap car up into the fence and over just about. That might not be good. As we got one around, caution flag will fly. I believe it was McKenzie once again there in car number 07. So McKenzie was riding the wall, doing a little bit of a crab walk in the 07 car. A few drivers come into pits here to fix some damage. As Braden Eiler continues to lead over Ernie Williams Jr. and Tyler Shell. Your top 3 as we sit with 6 to go here at Limaland for the DOB 410 Sprint Car Series Season 17, round number 1. So here we go once again as Eiler fires out of turn number 4. Back to green flag racing we go with 6 laps remaining. Already a good advantage over Williams in the 01 machine, or 91 machine. He rides second. Tyler Schell in a battle now with Joshua Packel. Packel, a former big block standout for DOB, now in a 410 sprint car, and he looks good on the bottom, but that 85 of Schell just able to hold him off. And how about Chris Roberts? Very bottom of the racing surface, holding down a top 5 spot. Good points so far for series promoter Roberts as Packel gets almost into Schell, hits the binders, and comes up a little bit sideways. 3 laps to go now for Braden Eiler, all by his lonesome. Make it 2 this time by the line. 2 laps to go for Eiler to collect race win number 1 of the season. As he comes off of turn number 4, once again, white flag, 1 lap to go here from Limaland. Williams Jr. and Schell solid in the top 3 right now. So Eiler down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4, and Braden Eiler will be a winner here tonight at Limaland with the DOB 410 sprint cars. Williams Jr. second, Schell third, and Packel fourth with Detweiler rebounding very hard there. Darren Detweiler, good rebound finishes in the top 5. Chris Roberts 6th, Sean Briscoe 7th, Michael Sheridan 8th, Tim Alton 9th, Daniel Harrell, or Richie Preston 10th, Daniel Harrell 11th, Nicholas McGeethy, Billy Rowley, and Lane Stevens round out the field on the track, with multiple others not finishing this race. So real quick before we head to our victory lane interviews with race winner Braden Eiler, let's pull up your final feature results of the night here. For the DOB 410 sprint cars, winner Braden Eiler. In car number 5, Ernie Williams Jr. second, Tyler Schell third, Joshua Packel fourth, Darren Detweiler will be 5th, 6th will be Chris Roberts, 7th will be Sean Briscoe, 8th will be Michael Sheridan, 9th Tim Alton, 10th Richie Preston, 11th Daniel Harrell, 12th Nicholas McGeethy, 13th Billy Rowley, 14th Lane Stevens, 15th Ivan McKenzie, 16th Ryan Scheit. Then it's Larry Moody, Alex Rzazinski, Tyler Henselman, Carter Chevalier, Taylor Howell, Billy Brickley, and Kevin Click scored 23rd officially for the end of this race. So that brings an end to the racing action here tonight, but we have to have a word with a couple of guys. First one being tonight's race winner down in the car number 5. Braden, it's right up in the TDTV tower. You got a copy on me, buddy?
Yep.
Well. We see you back in victory lane once again. Been doing this for a while, but capturing that first win of the season this early, gotta feel good for the contention here in that 5 camp, don't you think?
Yeah. We've had a lot of bad luck the last probably 3 races. Just a couple things on my end, and a lot of just unlucky things that went wrong. But yeah, it feels good to go wire to wire, and car felt pretty decent on the cushion. It had a couple random spots towards the end where it just would randomly get loose. It was kind of weird. The motor had no power, it seemed like, but it still would break the tires, so it was definitely interesting.
Well, hey, it absolutely hooked up and looked good doing it. I mean, a lot of you guys, not saying you in particular, but a lot of guys struggling to get used to the new fixed setup format. How have you been able to kind of get used to it so quickly here? Because car looked extremely fast here at Limaland.
I've ran fixed setup weeks probably since I joined the service, so it's really not anything new to me. Just different setup, different night, and you just gotta adapt to it. It's definitely a lot more enjoyable. A lot of less stress going into it, making sure you get the car dialed, and also avoiding all the setup bugs that are out there with the unrealistic setups that make the cars almost drive like a modified. So the fixed setups are, they're enjoyable, and it really makes it easier to come back and race every week.
All right, well, Braden, of course, talking about racing every week. Next Thursday night, 410's head to 2 very distinctly different tracks. We start out the night at Kokomo over in Kokomo, Indiana, and then we transition to another big half mile. We go to Bristol. I mean, what are your thoughts as we head into that one, trying to extend or trying to build on this great points night that you had both at Volusia and here at Limaland?
Uh, I feel good about Kokomo. Bristol hasn't really necessarily been good to me. But I also heard that they changed it and there's a new configuration for it now. So
Oh.
I haven't tried it since they done that. So maybe it'll be different or maybe it'll be exactly the same. But I feel pretty confident about Kokomo. So yeah, we'll see what Bristol does for us.
Well, absolutely. See you next week. But before we let you go here tonight, go ahead and shout out those sponsors and let us know who helped you get into your lane here tonight.
Yeah, first and foremost, I gotta thank Billy Rowley for all the work that he does for us on paints and whatnot. We brought a new car this week, and it looks really sharp. So if you ever need a paint, go to Paints by the Tuna Can on Facebook. He'll hook you up. And also gotta give thanks to Wicked Brands, Garage Bar and Grill, Jessup Logistics, BS Airlines, everybody else that supports Flow Racing. Or yeah, wow, it's late.
Yeah, it is.
So yep, that's about it.
Hey, that's about it, and that's about all the time we got for with you here, Braden. Once again, congratulations. First night out, you are a winner with DOB, and we look forward to seeing you two very interesting challenges next week at Kokomo and Bristol.
Yes, sir.
So, of course, that was race winner Braden Eiler. Next, we will pull up into the booth. Talking to us now for a second time after a good run on Tuesday night, Mr. Ernie Williams Jr. in car number 91. Ernie, hey, two broadcasts for for DOB, both in the 360s and here in the 410s. You're talking to me. Another great run. But, man, Braden was just lights out quick. I mean, what do you think was
flying,
different
wasn't
there?
he?
Yeah, he was flying. What do you think the
he looked
difference
like
there
he was on a different setup than everybody else. Nah, he's just good, man. I mean, you get them tracks for the cushion to stick around, man. He's I mean, that dude's serious good. I mean, he's legit. I mean, he's just as competitive and just as good as anybody on the game right now. So, I knew once I got to second, I wasn't going nowhere. So I was happy with second, to be honest.
Yeah,
He's fast.
Man, I was about to say, once you got to second, it was cruise control from there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I just I knew I didn't have nothing for him. Even in our dash, he was like 3/10 quicker than everybody else. I was like, okay, I already know what's going to happen here. I was hoping to get to second. You know what I mean? I started third, so I was like, man, surely got to be able to pass one or two people. You know what I mean? The only thing I was hoping is if we got to some traffic, and even then, man, he's just so good. He'd have weaved and bobbed through it. You know what I mean? He would have got through all that. I mean, like I said, it would have took something out of the ordinary to get around him.
Well, hey, man, don't disrespect yourself. Still a great run for you, and we head to a couple of distinct tracks next Thursday night. We got Kokomo on the schedule. We got Bristol on the schedule. Give me some of your thoughts as we head in a completely different direction than here tonight.
Right. I'll be good at the short track, Kokomo. I'll be decent there. I like the shorter tracks, the bank tracks like that. Bristol, I should be all right too. Haven't run Bristol a lot, so I don't really know how it's going to run in the fixed set. So, other than that, I'm looking forward to it, though. Really looking forward to it next week.
And so are we now, Ernie. Real quick before we let you go celebrate the second place finish, who are we thinking on the race car? Who helped you get here?
Absolutely, man. Black Diamond Motorsports, they're all behind us. I know a couple of the guys didn't have good luck tonight, but they've been running pretty good. And Tim Sims, they help out a lot. Wicked Cushion, Talking Dirt TV, glad you guys come on and gonna get some of them broadcasts in for us. Can't wait to go back and watch it, man. And hopefully we can come back and next week and talk to you again, buddy.
Yes, sir. Certainly hope so. Ernie, once again, congratulations on second place. We'll see you next week.
Yep, thank you.
So one last person here, so I'll drag him down in the booth, talk to him twice on Tuesday. I only get to talk to him once on Thursday, but it was still a good one. Mr. Tyler Shell, I believe, just outside of hard charger, but 11 spots picked up here at Limaland, man. That thing was on an absolute rail.
Yeah, for sure. It was an eventful kind of night with everything that happened at Volusia and then having to go to the back in this one and coming back forward. So we'll take it.
Hey, you'll definitely take it. But, I mean, talk me through it a little bit because, I mean, A, you did a little wreck dodging, but B, you did a lot of passing here. What were you able to kind of figure out the setup a little more than some of these other guys here? Because that once you got it cooking, man, that thing was cooking.
It's just kind of roll the top. I tried the bottom, but it wasn't very good for my liking, so I just kind of ripped the top and tried the best.
Hey, you certainly did that, and it got you into a top 3. So go ahead, shout out the sponsors here before we head off next week. We got Kokomo and Bristol, so shout out the sponsors here.
Yep, just like to thank everybody puts us on, and then you for broadcasting, and then I was up Sim Sport, and then Weather Tires and Flood Racing.
Well, Tyler, another great run here. Volusia may not have been what you wanted, but here at Limaland, rebound in a big way. And we'll catch you next week as you try to go even further ahead as we head to Kokomo and Bristol.
Thank you.
So again, that was your top 3 finishers for tonight's final event from the Limaland Speedway. Of course, we saw Mason Hannigan win earlier at Volusia, and then Mr. Braden Eiler puts it on him here at Limaland. So that'll do it for episode number 1, season 17, round 1 for the Dirty Old Bastards 410 Sprint Car Series. Back at you next Tuesday night. More 360 action right here on TDTV. Make sure you subscribe down below. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a live stream from us here at TDTV. I have been Ryan Williams, and we will catch you in the next one, guys.